need to just take care of business, Raptors, and beat the Wizards. We played the Wizards in the preseason, and we handled them pretty good. I went to the game. I saw it with my own two eyes. So there's no reason why we can't beat the Wizards today. Seriously. They're in some ways kind of pretenders. So, all right, let's see. I want to start with the injury report, of course, for tonight. DeLon Wright, former Raptor, is out. He has had surgery. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. It's his a knee that needed to have surgery. That's too bad. I feel bad because we love DeLon. And, of course, he's one of the Utah Utes that are involved in this game tonight between Jakob, Kyle Kuzma, and DeLon Wright. Well, DeLon's not going to be able to play, and that's too bad. It's sad for us. Now, the Raptors have kind of an extensive injury list right now, which sucks because we don't like seeing that. The good news is that Precious is not on the injury list. So Precious is back, but there's a couple other guys that are on the list now. Koloko out, of course. We've been talking about Koloko with this mystery illness. He's still out. Gary Trent Jr. is day-to-day because of his plantar fasciitis. They're saying that it's probable or doubtful that he'll play today. I'm not totally sure, but Gary is on the list right now. And then yesterday, and this was a factor in the 905 game, Ron Harper Jr. and Javon Freeman Liberty both day-to-day right now. I don't think the two ways are with the Raptors. I didn't see any official word that they got recalled up to be available for this Wizards game today. In some ways, I'm like, why? What's the point? I mean, maybe you want to develop these guys in some regular season game against the Wizards. I get it. But in some ways, it's like, I don't know. Javon Freeman Liberty and Ron Harper Jr. both day-to-day. And they missed that 905 game yesterday, and they were sorely missed. I'm going to review that 905 game very soon. I have a burning desire to talk about that 905 game very, very soon. If y'all watched it, you'll know what I'm want to talk about. But yeah, we're going to do the ref report first and finish up the preview for Washington. And then I'm going to give you my take on what happened with the Raptors 905 yesterday in their home opener against the College Park Skyhawks, because it was not pretty. And it was stupid. It was just as ugly as our game against the Celtics on Saturday night. I'm going to just say that. It's just as ugly as that. All right, let's go with our ref report. Here are our referees for the game tonight against the Washington Wizards. Our crew chief tonight is Brian Forte. He's in his 18th season out of Fairfax, Virginia. He went to Furman University. His favorite TV show is Breaking Bad. He likes the movie The Godfather Part 2. His favorite meal is sushi, and his favorite app is Netflix. We've had Brian Forte already this season. Referee one of our games. We lost that game. I don't remember which game it was, but we've already lost a game with Brian Forte refereeing this year. Now, he's the son of a former ref, Joe Forte, and in some ways, he's a good ref for us, guys. Like statistically, he is on our side. 57% for the Raptors, 41% for the Wizards. So 57-41, the winning percentages for the two teams historically under that particular ref. So 57-41 Raptors. So Brian Forte is not horrible, even though we lost the last game while he was around. The second ref is a problem, though. He is one of the top 10 worst refs the Raptors get. But fortunately, he's not like a veteran ref who has a lot of power. He can be a little jerk at times in his own little calls. But for the most part, he's not the leader on the court. Brian Forte is going to be running this game. But C.J. Washington is the second ref. He's in his ninth season out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He likes the movie Life with Eddie Murphy, and his favorite TV show is Godfather of Harlem. His favorite musician's Anthony Hamilton. His favorite meal is lasagna. So we need lasagna for him. He must like to visit Italy. So we got a guy who wants to visit Spain and a guy who wants to visit Italy. And his bucket list is to attend a football game at Notre Dame Stadium. So C.J. Washington it previously worked as a licensed residential building inspector and a residential real estate appraiser. That's interesting. I never knew that about him. Yeah, him and his wife have 2 children. He enjoys traveling with his family and friends, reading and watching movies and playing golf. C.J. Washington is literally one of the top 10 worst winning percentages for the Raptors. And it's crazy because he's been around for the last 9 years only. And we've been one of the highest winning teams in the last 10 years. So this just doesn't jive. This man is not good for us. I'm going to tell you that right now. We win 41% of our games under him. He literally is in the bottom 10. I look at the list, and there's only like 6 refs underneath him. He's one of the worst refs for us, honestly. CJ Washington, 50% for the Wizards. So he favors the Wizards, 50-41. You think about that. Seriously, guys, think about this. Do a brain exercise. In the last 9 years, CJ Washington has refed the Wizards to a 500 record with the games that he's been involved. And with us, 41%. And that's with our championship year. That's with all this other stuff. That's how bad CJ Washington is to the Raptors. So watch him. Watch him today. He's a jerk. And if there's any rep that's going to be doing something out of pocket, it's him. Fortunately, he's not the crew chief. Fortunately. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I do not like CJ Washington. The third ref is Matt Myers. He's another younger ref, 7 years. So this is a very inexperienced ref crew, not like the one we had in Boston that had two 30-year vets. This is another young ref crew. Matt Myers in the 7th season out of St. Louis. He went to Hampton University. His favorite TV show is The Wire. His favorite movie is The Shawshank Redemption. His favorite musician is Jay-Z. His favorite meal is buffalo wings. And he likes to play Words with Friends. He wants to attend the Masters, and his hidden talent is golf. Let's see. Matt Myers has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and was a member of the golf team at Hampton University. He played golf and soccer at Jefferson City High School in Missouri. There you go. He also has scuba certification. And in this past summer, he completed a dive in Zanzibar. He also went on safari in Serengeti in Tanzania. So, yeah, he's got some interesting things about him. Matt Myers is actually the best ref for us in some ways today. We have the highest winning percentage with him. We win 2 out of 3 of our games when he's present. So we're 67% winning percentage. But the Wizards have a winning percentage with him also. Their highest winning percentage between the 3 refs, 53%. So 67-53, Matt Myers for the Raptors. But there is some favor for the Wizards that's kind of weird. The Wizards have been pretty bad for a while, and having an above 500 or a 500 win percentage with them is a bad sign in some ways in this situation. So, yeah, 2 of the refs statistically favor us, but they shouldn't favor us so little considering how good we've been in the last 10 years and how bad the Washington Wizards have been. So, yeah, it's a weird ref crew. I think we'll be all right. We just need to take care of business. And don't mess around. A lot of people are saying to the Raptors right now, it's like, don't cry about the challenge against the Celtics. Just not get beat by 30 points. And I agree with them. When y'all say that, I agree with you. The team doesn't need to be getting beat by 30 points. But it still was disrespectful to do that in that moment. And we'll stand by that. And you guys can say, oh, we don't care. We don't care. We've been disrespecting you from the beginning. That's fine. Go ahead and say shit like that, Celtics Nation. It's true. The league has been disrespecting us since we've got that dinosaur came out of that egg in 1995. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. But yeah, we won't call out the disrespect still. What do you think? We're going to get apathetic and say, oh, it's just this. It's just how it is. No. In fact, that's something I'm pissed off about right now. Apathy. It's a horrible word. It's a very horrible word. And in fact, I'm going to transition into the 905 game yesterday with the word apathy real quick. I have lost total confidence in Eric Khoury as a head coach. He may be a great assistant coach. He may be a great statistical analyst. He may be a great office guy. He may be a great Raptors employee for 10 years, working his way up to get up there and keep going. And, he's a star in the Raptors organization, apparently. But he is not a head coach. He should not be head coaching. The man does not have it. In something called the Bobby Knight scale. Yeah, Bobby Knight, he just passed. Rest in peace, one of the greatest college coaches ever in the history of the NCAA. Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight, if y'all know who Bobby Knight is, you know what I'm talking about right now. Bobby Knight was one of the most fiery, passionate, had it like he cared so much. He cared so much he'd yell and cuss you out so quick. You can ask Isaiah Lord Thomas, the original president of this franchise, how Bobby Knight used to be at Indiana. You could ask him. You could find out. If there's a rating, a top 10 rating, he's an 11 on a 10 scale. Yeah, he's like a Spinal Tap amplifier. He's an 11 on a 10 scale. If you're talking about intensity and really caring and having that dog and being a coach. Yeah, people like Doug Moe. Have you ever seen old clips of Doug Moe, who used to coach the Denver Nuggets? Have you ever seen that man freak out at a game before? That's what I'm saying. There's a scale on this. And if Bobby Knight is an 11, Eric Khoury's a -1. Yeah, a -1. This man is the most passive Woody Allen looking motherfucker on the court when things are going on in the game. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm breaking it down. I got 5 egregious mistakes by Eric Khoury yesterday that I can point out very clearly and show to everybody right now, as I go over this 905 debacle against the Skyhawks yesterday. It's like, what are we even doing with the 905, Masai? What are we even doing with it, man? Luke Wynn, you were a writer. I'm glad you're here. Maybe you're smart. Maybe you're not. I don't know. In some ways, the jury's out on you. I remember your articles. But listen, y'all need to get this 905 working the right way, because it is the catalyst, the beginning of where we get to our next championship. That is what we learned. For us to be able to do what we did in 2019, we had to have the organic growth of development from our G League and getting a G League championship and having the players like Fred, Pascal, and Jakob and those guys coming up and bringing it up. Well, we're not getting that wave started down there. We're taking our damn time. We're playing in puddles. We need to start a wave from the bottom. And that's with Marquise. Marquise is the beginning of it. I can see Marquise is the right piece for this. Mohamedou Gueye, oh my gosh, #1 star for that game yesterday. He, in some ways, does not belong in G League right now. I can tell you that right now. Mogi is a very good player. In some ways, he does not deserve to be down there in 905. If anybody right now doesn't need to be down there, it's Mo. But he's great down there, and he should continue to play there. But I'm going to say this right now. It's like, what are we doing with the 905? Are we wasting our time? I'm wondering about this. Like, do you guys give a shit about winning on that level? Does it just like, let's get players together and put them out there and just run around? Do you give a shit about winning? Do you give a shit about starting a winning culture from our G League team, Masai Ujiri? Do you? Then this is the thing. I have a theory. I'm Windersing this shit because I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Eric Khoury in the 905? I think this. Nick Nurse sabotaged our team last year on purpose. And one of the ways he sabotaged our team on purpose was putting Eric Khoury. I don't know if he decided that. Whoever the fuck decided to let Eric Khoury run our 905 team for 2 years is an idiot. Let's just put it that way. I don't give a shit if he's a superstar in an office. I don't give a shit if he's got a PhD in some sort of biothermic, like water moves this way kind of bullshit. I don't give a shit about any of that, because to be a coach, you have to have a certain DNA and you have to be somewhere on that Bobby Knight scale. And that motherfucker is a -1 on the Bobby Knight scale. And I'm sorry, you just don't got it, bro. You ain't him. You ain't got it, bro. And you need to just, we're wasting our time on the 905 with him in charge. We are wasting our time, Masai. Seriously. Do you care about winning? That man cannot tell them how to win. He has no idea. He has no idea. He fucking doesn't even know what he's doing. I can tell. I seen the signs yesterday. That motherfucker, if he learned anything from his first year, which was spinning wheels. I mean, did Nick Nurse put him in that job just because he knew he was going to suck and he wanted to really submarine our team? Because, like, that's what it feels like to me. Who picked Eric Khoury to be the 905 coach last year? Who picked him? Did Nick Nurse pick him? Because if he picked him, then it makes a whole lot of sense to me. He was sabotaging our team all along. He's like, I'm going to pick Eric Khoury. He can be the 905 coach this year. Masai, okay, I like that idea. He's been around for a long time. I like that idea. Fuck, that was the worst idea. That's the worst idea. Office guys cannot do these jobs because there's a certain personality that needs to be doing a coach's job. And Eric Khoury doesn't have that personality. That man's a doormat. I seen it yesterday. He fucking sucks so bad as a coach. He is so bad. He is so bad. All right, exhibit number 1 in my case, Your Honor. First of all, okay, listen, Daryl Morcell, one of my stars for the game yesterday. He got hurt in the game yesterday. He came down on somebody else's foot and twisted his ankle badly. He twisted his ankle so bad he could barely stand on his foot. Well, I don't get this. Why are teams doing this these days with the coaches where they just let them play after they get hurt? We saw Scotty hurt his hand in the game a couple games ago where he held his hand up and down the court like 2 or 3 trips. Why aren't y'all? These guys are investments. We baby them with load management things. We baby them all over the place with pampering them with massages and ice baths and stuff like that. When you see a player get hurt on the court, why don't you get him out quickly and try and check on them first? There's millions of dollars invested in Scotty Barnes. So if his hand's hurt, why do you allow him to continue to play and possibly further injure himself even worse? This shit happened yesterday. At 905. Daryl Morcell twists his ankle, and they tried to let him continue to play. Why the fuck would you do that? You saw that man. He can barely walk, and you're expecting him to run around and play defense? Hello, you dumbass. In fact, he kept playing him. He didn't even notice he was hurt. You can't be a coach if you are oblivious to the degree that you can't tell that one of your players can't walk. You cannot be a coach in this league if you cannot tell that one of your players cannot walk all of a sudden on the court. Seriously, he literally had one of the assistant coaches sitting on the bench tell him to take him out. Yeah. He didn't ever took Morcell out. Somebody on the bench said, you better take Morcell out. He can't walk. You couldn't see that he couldn't walk, Eric Khoury? You couldn't see that, and you could have further damaged him, or he could have missed the whole rest of the season because you left him out there like that? I don't give a shit about your timeouts. I don't give a shit about your plan with your rotation and what minutes go in. Oh, this isn't a part of my plan. I can't take him out now because it's my minutes. Fuck that. Get the motherfucker out because you may make him hurt worse and maybe ruin his career. Seriously. What is with coaches ignoring injuries on the court and letting them try to play through with this shit? This is so fucked up. As soon as Morcell came off the court, he's not going to tell you to take him out. He has pride. And in his own crazy head, he's going to be like, I can play coach, even though I'm stepping on the side of my foot and I'm going like this. How the fuck is he supposed to play defense like that? How the fuck is he supposed to do that, Eric Khoury? You idiot. You fucking idiot. And why did it take your assistant coach to tell you to take him out? Where is it not coming in your head to say, I need to take Daryl Morcell out? Because he just might have just like really hurt his ankle. He went right back to the back. And I was like, man, he better not be hurt for a long time because Khoury just left him out there and tried to keep playing him. That's what I said. Luckily, he got on that bike, he got through it, and he did get back out on the court and play in the second half. But he said after the game, it's like, it's going to really hurt. It's fine right now, but I know I'm going to feel this tonight. So I'm like, Eric Khoury, if you're not oblivious, you're so oblivious that you can't see that one of your players can't walk on the court. Seriously, what's wrong with you, bro? And that's not even the last of it. There's more bullshit like this that I can tell you and point out right now. She completely mismanaged Makur Maker yesterday. Makur Maker is one of my 3 stars of the game yesterday, but only for the first half. He had 16 points in the first half and dominated the first half of that G League game yesterday. And he looked damn good. But what happened in the second half? Well, a mismanagement of his time and him being on the court. He allowed Makur Maker to foul out with 6 minutes left in the game. Is that smart, Eric Khoury? Is that smart? Considering you have Mogi and Makur, and those are the only 2 bigs you got, and then you got all guards. And then I'm like, whoa, wait a second, bro. He's like, Makur went out with 6 minutes to go. We have no center all of a sudden. So now you're playing a 5-guard lineup. But wait, a 5-guard lineup. Okay, that's all you got. You have no Ron Harper. You got no Javon Freeman Liberty. Makur just fouled out. Daryl Morcell's twisted his ankle. What are you going to do? Play Marquise Nowell and 4 G League guys that are fucking from other places like Jayshawn Page and fucking Omari Moore and all this shit while you have fucking Kevin O'Banner sitting on the bench and he's ready to play and he's a power forward and he could have played a big for you when Makur went out. Why didn't you play Kevin O'Banner? Is he in the doghouse? Did he say something? Is he in trouble? Is he on the down low hurt? Because he was dressed. And you could have played Kevin O'Banner yesterday, and it would have helped because he's got size. He's a power forward. He could have been the 1 forward out there with your 4-guard lineup. But no, Eric Khoury can't think that way. Why the fuck you're shorthanded? You're playing 8 guys. You've got Kevin O'Banner sitting on the bench, and he's healthy. Why are you fucking playing O'Banner, man? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Oh my gosh. And that's not all of it, y'all. Let me go over some more of this because it is like, listen, no confidence. I have absolutely no confidence in that guy. That guy's a pushover. That guy's a Woody Allen movie. Seriously, the way he's like, he does the pat, like when things go wrong in the game. He shrugs his shoulders and goes, I'm Pat. Motherfucker grow some balls and get angry. And show some fieriness. Like if he's supposed to be the thing that's sort of supposed to build up our guys and get them going, he's not helping them. He's not developing them. In fact, he may be hurting these guys' careers. Seriously, with his apathetic, ho-hum approach to things. I don't know what you call it, laid back or whatever. He's fucking asleep. He's half asleep, if you ask me. He's half a fucking sleep. And if he has no fire to him. How do these guys get fired up from him? He can't inspire them. What is he going to do? He comes in the locker room and says, okay, guys, yeah, we got to cut down the turnovers. We got to do this. We got to do that. You know why I know he has no fucking fire? Because there was a play last night where it went out of bounds, and it went out of bounds on the other team, and it was on our possession, and the shot clock had gone down to like 2 seconds. Well, he was supposed to get a reset on the shot clock by the rules of the NBA, because if it goes out of bounds on the other team, that's out on them, and it was part of their ball. No, referees, come and talk to them, Eric Khoury. Come over there and say hi. I know the rules. You guys are supposed to reset our shot clock in this situation. But they said, no, we're just doing this. And he said, okay. And he just kind of walked away. He didn't even try and fight it. He didn't get pissed off. He showed no fire whatsoever in a situation where he was wronged, the team was wronged, and he just rolled over and took it. Rolled over and took it. What a pathetic display. Maybe one of the most pathetic coaching jobs I've ever seen a coach do, a person that is not a coach. Seriously, you did not show you would fight for us. Meanwhile, Coach Joe's culture and coach's challenge is pissing off the whole Raptors nation. This motherfucker won't do one little challenge in that situation with the inbounds. Maybe you can't do the challenge on that call, but either way, you should have had a shit fit. You should have got so pissed off that you care so much that you got your ass thrown out. You should have. You should have. I would have had more respect for you instead of shrugging and walking back over and just accepting it. What the fuck is wrong with you, Eric Khoury? You need to be in the office. You need to be on the back bench. You need to have a printout with a bunch of numbers on it instead of standing next to the sideline trying to tell men how to play a game that you don't know how to play. How about that? How about that? That's right. That's right. These analytics have gone too far, Masai. Take the analytics guy back to the office. Take him back to the office. Because I just point out 3 very egregious, and there's more. There's more. I have a laundry list of coaches' mess-ups from yesterday that I can go over about Eric Khoury. And I mean, I had no confidence us winning. The game was close. The game was close the whole way. The Skyhawks have a coach on their side that was a former assistant coach for us, Ryan Schmidt. Ryan Schmidt shows up in a suit, very professional. His assistant coaches all wearing a suit, very professional. Has a demeanor to him that exudes respect me. Respect me. Well, we see the result. You come in looking like a slob in your warm-ups. Your face is all disheveled. You look stressed the fuck out. Eric Khoury, nobody respects you, bro. Nobody respects you. That guy that's coaching College Park, we're going to see them again tomorrow. You guys watch the game. You look and see that coach. He maybe should be coaching our 905 right now because he was in our organization, Ryan Schmidt. Maybe he should be coaching the 905 right now instead of Eric Khoury. It's fucked up, man. It's a bad situation because in some ways we have these 2-year windows and we commit to them to really try and develop the coach, because part of it is we're developing the coach along with the players at 905. We're developing everybody down there, the commentators, Lindsey Dunn's doing sideline. We're developing people with our 905. Well, there's no reason to develop this guy. I'm just going to say that right now. And this has been a waste just like last year with Nick Nurse on the Raptors, a waste on the 905 with Eric Khoury last year. And it looks like we're going to have another waste of a second year of Eric Khoury on the 905. I don't know what you do, Masai. Fire him and put Christian Siakam in that seat. I don't know. Fire him and put one of the other assistants, maybe one of Darko's guys down there, like Evo or something. I don't know. Just I can't fucking stand Eric Khoury. I have no confidence in him. He doesn't know how to win as a coach. He doesn't instill confidence in the guys. He doesn't fire them up. They don't play well for him. They play very erratic. They have mental lapses. They have horrible defense. They're not dialed in. They don't have dog. They're not organized. There's all kinds of fucking gripes I can bring up about why that team sucks and why he's a horrible coach. There's all kinds of gripes I can go over with this. This is a very necessary rant. And, listen, Darko and Masai are sitting at courtside yesterday. They both look forlorn and worried and troubled. Yeah, I get it. In some ways, watching how Eric Khoury coaches, I would be looking like that also. My 3 stars officially for the game were number 1 star is Mogi. Mogi was fantastic, guys. He really is dominant. 6 for 11, 1 for 3 from 3, 3 for 5 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, +4 in a situation where, not a lot of our guys were pluses. He was the only one. 18 points for Mogi. He was just really, really moving well and really, really good. Like he just looks like he's a level above the G League. He seriously does. He doesn't look like he belongs there. Daryl Morsell is my second star, 7 of 18. He got hurt in the middle of the game, was very, very scary in some ways. They were very short-handed. And I do not understand why O'Banner and Morris did not get to play in this game, you dumbass Eric Khoury. But Morsell had 22 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers. He was 1 for 6 from 3. Now, Daryl, in some ways, he's not playing very efficient right now. But out of the way things have been going, he was one of our better players yesterday. Makur is my other third star. I'm only doing 3 stars. 6 for 10 in the first half. 4 for 6 from 3 in the first half. That was amazing. Maker making those threes was a lot of fun in the first half of the game. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, no blocks. Very surprised that he didn't get more rebounds and blocks in this game. In some ways, that's a fail, Maker. Your second half was awful. You didn't do anything. You didn't score a single damn point. You got 16 points in the first half. So you're kind of a half star just for a half of good play. Now, Marquise was okay, guys, but I didn't feel like putting him in the stars because he wasn't that good, honestly, in some ways. The other guys were better. Marquise was 4 for 10 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. See, if he'd shot maybe 1 or 2 more of those, I'd be happier. 3 for 3 at the free throw line, 7 assists, 1 steal, but he did have 4 turnovers. And I'm looking at your assist to turnovers ratio a lot, Marquise, when I'm judging you in that and your field goal percentage. And 7 to 4 assist to turnover ratio is just not going to cut it, bro. 16 points for Marquise. He was trying to be a leader, and he looked really good. He's so much fun to watch. He's just so little and cute. And like when he does good stuff, you just like feel that real underdog, like, yes, go Marquise kind of feeling. And, that's fun. That's fun. But in some ways, it just wasn't a good game by him, and I can't reward him for that. The other starter was Moore. He was okay. He actually, out of all the other bench guys, Moore is the guy I kind of like. 4 for 7, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. He did have 6 turnovers, 11 points. Now, the guys on the bench, we only had 3 bench players because, like I said, Ron, Javon were gone. They were not there. Ron and Javon were gone. And I didn't know that until the game started. We could have really used Ron Harper Jr. or Javon Freeman Liberty yesterday. That may have helped us win the game by the end. It's too bad. And like I said, O'Banner and Morris were there, and they were dressed. You could have used them, Khoury. You're a failure, bro. The guys off the bench to note Jayshawn Page. I don't like this guy. I don't like the way he plays. And he's annoying, but he did shoot 50% yesterday, 6 of 12, 2 of 7 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 14 points. But I don't like his swagger. I don't like the way he carries himself on the court. And I don't think he's a good player. In fact, he's annoying, honestly. If he does well and he helps us win, I may change my opinion. But I'm not high on Jayshawn Page. I think that he's kind of he's a bogus player. He's like 28 or 29. He has no future. And he's kind of freezing out Marquise last night. And I don't like that, bro. You're kind of the old guy there to give him the ball and let him do his thing. And you shouldn't be freezing out Marquise Page, is what I'm saying. Burns and Williams are the other 2 guys who got to play. They both only got 2 points and really didn't help. So really no bench, no reserves, no good stuff going on there. And meanwhile, Skyhawks had this guy Silva. We've seen him last year. He's something else. He also played at FIBA. 27 points for Silva and 10 rebounds, a double-double, 9 of 14 from the field with 2 blocks. He was the best player on the court yesterday, Silva. And I just hate it because the Raptors905, you should have won your home opener. Give the fans something to cheer about. And no, big, huge fail. And it's a big stinking turd laid by their coach. Seriously. I know they won't fire him, y'all. They're going to let him fail and just go through the season. But damn, he should never, ever be a head coach after the season ever again. Seriously. You maybe go coach high school. That's fine. But don't fucking try and coach college or NBA or G League ever again, Eric Khoury. Seriously. Never, ever again. This is a failure of taking somebody from the office and putting them on the sideline. And once again, he is on a -1 on a Bobby Knight coach's scale of intensity. He's a -1. Rest the soul of Bobby Knight, who just passed away recently. Yeah, Eric Khoury, you're the inverse of that shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I had to go off on him. I'm sorry, y'all. And hopefully y'all understand my points for why Why? I mean, seriously, if I see this kind of shit at home and I'm like, these are big coaching fails. Yeah, I'm gonna call it out. I don't know if he's worried. Like, and the interview afterwards, the reporters, Lindsey Dunn and all them, they're lobbing softballs at him. So I wrote some comments in on underneath that clip of the real questions. Why didn't you play O'Banner? Why didn't you notice that Daryl Morcell was hurt and take him out of the game? Why did it take an assistant coach to tell you to do that? Horrible, absolutely horrible. And we ain't gonna get that wave of goodness from the G League coming up to our team to help us get a championship this way. It was absolutely necessary. The wave of progress and development from the 905 to get the 2019 championship. So if y'all want to start getting that wave going again, start the wave machine up. But that man is not going to help. He's going to stymie. And in fact, I feel like he's giving bad habits to the youngsters. Like, really, your coach is important. They set the tone. They set the attitude. They set the winning persona of the team. And this motherfucker ain't got none of that. He doesn't motivate these guys. These guys play like ass. They play half-ass, just like last year. It's just more of the same shit as last year. In some ways, I wanted to, like Eric Khoury, to like think about coaching this summer and really think about it a lot and really kind of think, oh, I'm going to do this better this year. I'm going to do this better this year. In some ways, you're worse than you were last year already. 0-2, bro. You're 0-2. You start getting some wins. You start getting better results. Maybe I'll start changing my opinion about you. But as far as I'm concerned right now, we're wasting our time with you in charge. We are wasting our fucking time at G League. And it might as well be like Nick Nurse coaching the Raptors last year, wasting our time. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. All right. Good morning, Trevor J. Half-hour rant before I even get the comments. That's how you know I really gave a shit about what I had to say. Trevor J's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy Monday and game day. Let's go. And he's got the Raptors starting lineup with Gary Trent and Malachi and Precious and Darko. There you go. This is the Trevor J Cup for the in-season tournament. Somebody's going to win this. This is a prize for the people of this channel. Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Trevor's saying all of those super teams getting their ass kicked, like the Clippers. I think I need help from Uncle Drew. Uncle Dennis? You need help from Uncle Dennis Leonard? Yeah, I mean, listen, microwaving championships don't work, Steve Ballmer. That's what I keep saying. And it's funny. Yeah, they're 0-4 now. 0-4. Beautiful. I love that. And Trevor J saying Houston fans going off like they already won the NBA championship. Yeah, Houston getting some success right now. You know, it makes sense. They've got a pretty good coach, a coach that has a proven track record. His rookie year, he got to the finals. And then you got a proven champion, a guy who's won a championship with the Raptors named Fred VanVleet. A lot of people are saying Dillon Brooks changed that team. No. Pause, Rockets Nation. Pause. You don't give credit to Dillon Brooks before you give credit to Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet is the reason why y'all are winning. You know that's true. Look at the way he's carried y'all with freeze at the end of the game. So come on now. Give the credit where it's due. Dillon is a factor for sure, and he has helped you guys. But Fred, you need to talk about how Fred has been a factor on y'all team way more than Dillon in some ways, because in some ways he's the one carrying y'all. Dillon may bring the attitude, but Fred's carrying y'all at the end of the game. You know he is. So, yeah, they're real happy. They beat the Denver Nuggets last night. Yeah, and they're on a 6-game win streak. Yeah, it's crazy. In some ways, it's fantastic. But in some ways, I'm also a hater. And I like, in some ways, I don't totally – I mean, I like Dillon. I like Fred. But I don't like M.A. And I don't like the rest of the Rockets. So, yeah, it's tough. In some ways, I'm very happy for Fred. And, that, in some ways, this is good because of that price tag. This is good what's happening here. I'd much rather have Rockets Nation loving and supporting and being nice to Fred and having reasons to like him instead of him being a complete bust and being paid like so much. Yeah, they would be so mean to him. So in some ways, I'm very happy that Houston's having success. If anything, the criticism of Fred and his pay will not be a problem, at least right now. So, yeah, I'm excited for Houston to a degree. Yeah, let them have their wins and championships. Let them Patrick Beverly the play-in tournament. Let them do that. Go ahead and get all happy now because there may not be stuff at the end of the year to be happy about. We'll have to see. Dana saying, good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's win this game tonight. There you go, Dana. I love it. And she's got Dennis and Precious in her pictures there. I love it. Good to see you, Dana. Happy Monday. Cowboy saying, good morning, Lex. Bam, and the Raptor Freaks. Good morning to Canadian Cowboy on a steel horse I ride. Cowboy, I'm going to say this right now. On Thursday, if you come down to the Real Jerk at Carlaw and Gerard for our Raptor Freak hangout, I will sing Bon Jovi Wanted Dead or Alive live for you on stage in honor of you. Yeah, I'll sing that song, the whole song for you. And if you want, you can come up there and sing the chorus with me. Maybe we'll do a little Richie and John singing it back and forth, just like in the Real Stuff with the Bon Jovi. That's right. Yeah, you're gonna get that dedication if you come down to the Real Jerk on Thursday, my man. Yeah, Cowboys saying, "Let's go, Raptors. Let's get back to winning." That's right. There's no excuse today. We got to win today. No messing around. We got to beat the Wizards. No messing around. Seriously, y'all don't need to lose this game. You know, we're a little bit in shambles from Saturday night. We do not need to go even further into that direction with a stupid loss to a team, honestly, that is not playing well. They don't really have a whole lot of good stuff going on with them. I mean, I'll go look at their game from last night. They lost by 8 points to the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn last night. So they are on the second night of a back-to-back. We ain't got no business to lose to them. And their leading scorer was Bilal Koulibaly. Bilal Koulibaly, the rookie from France, was their leading scorer with 20 points. And meanwhile, you got Kuzma, 4 for 16, 15 points, 5 for 12 for Poole, 12 points. I mean, we shut the Poole down in the preseason. OG fucked up Jordan Poole. And hopefully we can do that again tonight. I mean, those are the guys you got to worry about the most. Kuzma and Poole, really shut them down. Gallinari off the bench with 12 and Avdija with 14. They're not getting very good scoring. And it's not like the Nets are super, super great. So we need to destroy the Wizards tonight. We can get some good feelings because honestly, they just don't have firepower. And their players are kind of shams. And we need to just kick their ass. We very much need to kick their ass tonight. Trevor J saying, there is a purpose for everyone you meet. Some people come to test you. Some come to teach you. Some come to use you. What is this? Arrhythmics? And some bring out the very best in you. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Yes, Trevor, I get it. I get it. Some people are a lesson. Some people are a blessing. Some people are a teacher. Some people are a reacher. Yeah. You got to just look out for who they are and you suss them out and you figure out which ones are which and make sure you don't get one of them that's not a blessing and think they're a blessing. They're actually a lesson. So, yeah, figure it out and you'll be all right. Words of wisdom from Trevor J this morning. I love it. Cool Cat is here. Trevor J, super team's not working out, it seems. What is ESPN to do? What are they to do? Well, make up this in-season tournament and hope that the Celtics and the Lakers face each other in Las Vegas. That's what they hope to do. Good morning, Cool Cat. We love you. Bryce is here. Good to see Bryce Lawson once again. Good morning to you, Bryce. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday start to your week. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Week of the in-season tournament. Let's go. That's right. Week of Tommy Dookie returning to the 416 for another week. A time with me and the rest of the Raptor Freak crew while he'll be in town. It's going to be great times. Going to the game on Wednesday against the Bucks and also the game on Friday. The very first in-season tournament game for the Raptors against the Boston Celtics. Yeah, the crew will be in the house for that one. And once again, the Raptor Freak hangout on Thursday, the 16th, 7 p.m. Real Jerk, Carlaw and Gerard. Come on down. Even if you don't talk to us in the chat, if you're just a regular viewer of this channel on other hours, but you can make it to that hangout, come down there and just say, hey, Raptor Freak. I don't even care if I know you or have seen your name before. You just come down there and say, hey, I want to come see you guys and hang out and pal around and talk Raptors in person. You can come down there and do that. You don't have to be a known regular on the chat like Cool Cat or Jimmy Pope, but you know, just come on down. That's what happened before. We do a meet and greet and somebody comes down and it's like, hey, I never talked on the chat, but I just wanted to come and hang out with you guys. And that's been awesome. So do it. Do it. If you're on the fence, come down. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying, yes, Raptors905 should have been a W. Yep, I said they were following the Big Brother team. Laugh out loud. Well, in some ways, that's what they're supposed to do. They got the same system as the Big Brother team, and they're supposed to be doing, but there's a lot of mimicry. It's really weird. And that's why I get pissed when I see the half-assedness of the 905 right now, is because what are you influencing them? Or are they influencing you? I don't know what it is. Either way, I hate that coach. I absolutely officially hate that coach. I gave him a chance last year. I really did. I wasn't enthusiastic about him last year. I gave him chances. I'm like, yeah, but he was really shit, kind of. And I was like, okay, we'll give him another chance. Since Darko thinks that he should stick around, he cleared house of everybody else, but he's keeping Eric Khoury. I don't know if that was even his choice. Maybe that's part of the reason why Darko had a stink face on his face. He's like, why are we wasting our time with this guy? He's not my dude. I want one of my guys down there so they can really, really enforce what I want to do with them. Because it all builds. It's like that's the early greenhouse for the plants, the 905. And you got to grow the little seedlings up to being at a place where you can take them out in the yard and put them in the big league. And in some ways, that greenhouse isn't growing things right now. No, it is not. With the gardener named Khoury. No, it is not. And I'm pissed about this. It's so messed up. Jimmy Pope saying, I'm expecting a bounce back in intensity alone should be way better showing from our guys. I hope so. I think so. I mean, if they're sitting in how they feel from the other night, yeah, there should be some impetus to come back and be very pissed off and play at a high level tonight. I hope so. I hope so. I hope that's what we see, Jimmy. There's no guarantees in anything this season, that's for sure. Trevor J saying Raptors905 coach needs to go. Yeah, I don't know what they could do. Like, I know it's just 2 games in the season. He's 0-2 right away. I don't know what it takes. Does he lose 5, 7 games in a row? And then you guys are like, fuck him, get rid of him. I don't know what it takes. In some ways, maybe Masai and Darko sitting there watching him yesterday, we're analyzing this, and he absolutely failed. Like, if you're trying to put a good foot forward, Eric Khoury, and coach a good game, and you have the boss watching you, you failed, bro. Seriously, you absolutely horrible coach. And you showed it right in front of your bosses. You showed it right in front of your bosses yesterday. Maybe that's why he's a little, he's like, oh, I don't know. In some ways, you don't care about the right things, bro. You should be a little nervous about your job, but maybe you're not because there's assurances. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe this is part of the problem. You just get it for 2 years, bro. We're not going to fire you. You're in development. We'll let you have the whole 2 years for sure. Don't worry. You won't get fired. Well, okay, all right, I'll do a half-ass job because there's no pressure on me because I'm good. I'm made for the whole fucking season. Is that how it is, Masai? Is that how it is? Because if that guy's like that, then he's just going to fucking half-ass this whole fucking year for us. The 905. And once again, I don't understand why you guys don't send Grady down there. Y'all don't send like more of our guys that are on the Raptors down there to get developed faster. I already talked about that yesterday. Yeah. Chris is here. Good to see MSJ. Hoping for a win tonight. I see the Raptors coming out pissed off. Yeah, but 2 of y'all have said that. I hope so. Show some fire. Scotty, come on, man. Hopefully your hand doesn't hurt that bad. You can come out there and just work it out on them. Take it out on these guys, these Wizards tonight. Yeah, these Wizards, this is a must win. This is a team that's shitty, and we're better than them, and we need to take care of them. Seriously, this is no messing around. They may be thinking this is a gettable game from the other side because of how we've been, but we need to show them that it isn't. We need to show them that it isn't. Tom Duke has got the sushi out. He's got there's a pot with a chili, and then he's got the chicken head, and he's got footsteps, and he's got a raptor. Ooh. Yeah, CJ Washington's not our friend. He's not our friend. You're going to see that middle ref. He's a little jerk, well, honestly. Tom Duke saying, big week. Let's go, Raptors. Tommy, are you coming here tomorrow? Are you getting on a plane tomorrow? I think you are. You're going to be here tomorrow. So we need to get messages back and forth between you and me and fine-tune the coordinate the things about you arriving and how we're going to hook up and start hanging out while you're here and stuff like that. So I want to know your itinerary. Maybe we shoot a message to me after the stream and let me know what your schedule specifically is as far as when you arrive and when you depart. And, when I need to be around to host you this week. I'm going to be busting my ass today, getting most of my work done for the week today so that I can be fully available for Tommy today for the week later on. So Cool Cat saying Dennis and Coach Darko have to be appalled at the whistle now that they are in Canada. Laugh out loud. Well, no, they've dealt with bad whistles, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with Raptors or anything like that. In some ways, I want to kill this narrative. I really do. I get it. We get a bad whistle, but so do a lot of other teams in the league. We're not the only one. And it usually has to do with whether you're big market or small market, whether you're in the NBA's interests or not. That's usually what determines the whistle. It's not that we get the much worse whistle than anybody else. It's just that in some ways we do, but we don't. I don't know. I don't want to push more power into this. Cool Cat, there's something that I want to teach you right now. You give power to whatever you want to. And if you want to give power to that, okay, that'll become more real. You want to give power more to the things we talked about with ownership, with the Raptors, or other things that we talked about, keep talking about it in the way you do. But I'm not into that. I'm not into giving those kind of things powers. That's why I don't use that C word. So in some ways, like saying this and propagating it and saying, oh, these guys are finding out, this is how, don't propagate that. Don't put power into that, is what I'll say, Cool Cat. Maybe I don't know. It's like if you can rewire your brain to see things just slightly different, it might help, because this is partly a perception thing right here. I don't think Dennis and Coach Darko are thinking this. I'm going to disagree with you. They're not appalled by it. They're like, this is basketball. We get shitty calls, whether we're at FIBA, whether we're coaching a kids team in Serbia, whether we're playing for the Lakers. You know, we're going to get bad calls sometimes. And it's not that they're thinking, oh, it's just because we're in Toronto or we can't on the Canadian team. No, let's not give that power. Kareem saying, we Raptors fans blame people like Nick Nurse and Fred for our struggles. Their teams are hooping, while the only thing different with us is that Scotty is being more aggressive. Tom Duke obliterated my fantasy team. Holy shit. Holy crap, Kareem. Well, oh man, listen, that happens. Tom Duke is a serious competitor. All right, let me break down what you said before. We did blame Nick, and rightfully so. We did blame Fred for some of this stuff, and that wasn't rightfully so, in my opinion. A lot of the criticisms of Fred was bullshit last year. And in some ways, I didn't agree with that. I agree with the criticisms of Nick. Those were very real and true. And listen, their success in their places is like set up in some ways. The Philadelphia thing was set up. Now, the Houston thing's interesting because it's happening a lot quicker than I thought. But this may be just like sweet success early. And they're going to go through doldrums of bad stuff at some point. Now, some people are saying that the Houston Rockets are listening to Fred a lot better than we did. And that's something that kind of pisses me off. Because if our youngsters don't listen as well as those Rockets kids do, then there's something wrong with our youngsters. And that worries me. That really does worry me. Apparently, they're bought in, and they're like Sengun's saying that Fred is on our ass. Fred is on our ass, and he doesn't fucking put up with anything, and we have to listen to him. That's the kind of leadership I wanted from Fred last year. And that's why I was saying, if any youngsters don't like the way fucking Fred leads the team, get in fucking line and listen to him. I don't give a shit if he's shorter than you. I don't give a shit if he wasn't drafted and you were. You needed to listen to Fred last year. I said that all last year. And motherfuckers were saying, no, Fred needs to stop being so this or that. See, fucking Fan Nation don't know shit about basketball and things. You were just blinded by Scotty's young youthfulness, and you turned on Fred. And it was stupid. Y'all needed to not do that last year. And in some ways, I'm pissed off at fucking fuckface with his channel, and everybody was anti-Fred last year. Because honestly, he was a good player for us, and he's still a good player in this league. And it's too bad that is the way it went with him to a degree last year. It really is. Now, they may be hooping now, but this is a long-term thing, and we're going to be hooping at some point too. And we have been hooping in the last week or so. So we're going to be hooping again. We will ride again. Kareem Thomas, that's right. MSJ saying Bobby Knight was a madman, very smart coach. And you were right to say a coach needs that fire when it's needed. The coach has to want to win. I always love to punch the floor in front of the refs. Laugh out loud. There you go. Chris telling us about his Bobby Knight factor. I bet you Chris is like a 7 or 8 on the Bobby Knight scale. Yeah. Meeting MSJ, I bet you he is like a 7 or 8 on that Bobby Knight scale. I'm telling you, you have to be a certain personality. There's an ego to being a coach. And in some ways, you can't be mousy. You can't be kind of like passive. You can't be a pushover. You can't be somebody that like kind of gets shit happen to them and they turn the other cheek. No, you have to be an asshole. You have to be somebody who fucking fights for every inch of something. You have to be somebody who fucking is like ready to go and get fucking thrown out and lose money for your team. That's how passionate you are. And I just don't see it with Eric Khoury. I just don't see it. In some ways, he's hitting the snooze alarm. He's still asleep in the bed, even though he's standing on the sideline at Paramount Fine Foods. Seriously, that's the way I look at it right now. That's the way I look at it right now. Isaac Campbell has got the youthful Spriggs and Darko there. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, I also felt bad that Pascal was the only player that showed up for the home opener. I felt more players should have gone to show support, build the culture with new players. That, last year we had a pretty good turnout of guys coming to do that. But in some ways, these guys don't need to do that after a long road trip and a designated family day. There's a reason why Siakam was there. Sure, it's partly to show the connection. In some ways, he may have been told to do it, but also at the same time, his brother is at the game, and he's not front bench. He's back bench, and that's why I didn't see him, because he's a secondary coach for 905 right now, and he's not sitting in the front seat with Eric Khoury. But in some ways, you could say Siakam was at 905 to spend his family day because he's supporting his brother and supporting a team that he was on before. Dennis is going to be with Ellen shooting YouTube stuff. These guys just went on a long ass trip and they need to kind of have a day to themselves. Darko didn't practice them yesterday. They got to go and just have a day off in town, back from the trip, and be with family. Forgive them for not wanting to waste their time watching a loser coach lose a game. Forgive them for that. The support was there. Trust me. Siakam's there. You know what? Jakob could have showed up, maybe. But what? He wants to come back and do laundry. Seriously. I mean, geez. I'm glad Siakam was there, but realize it's partly because that's his family day. His brother's coaching, and he's got to go support his brother and the 905, a team that he was on before. I have no problem with none of the rest of them showing up. In fact, if they're going to play so garbage like that, it's going to be like that. We don't want our good players on the regular team to fucking be around that kind of grossness and get that kind of loserish fucking atmosphere on them from fucking going to a 905 game. So no, I don't have any problem with none of them showing up except for Siakam. Kareem saying throws chair across the floor. That's right. You want me to throw the chair across the floor right now? In some ways, this is so funny. This is Bobby Knight kind of shit. Doug Moe throwing the chair, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Can you be a little bit more Doug Moe? Eric Khoury, go watch Doug Moe highlights just for fucking an hour. Just go watch Doug Moe and watch how he used to coach and just kind of get inspired. Seriously. Tom Duke saying Scotty underperformed the last game. Now Gerald's up 60 points on me. More Scotty W tonight. Please, Scotty and OG. Close the pool. Shut it down. There will be no P in this pool. There will be no O in this pool. There will be no L in this pool. There will be no pool tonight. I'm sorry, swimmers. The pool is closed for maintenance. And we've got master plumbers working on the pump to shut it off and clog it up and mess it up for y'all. So, yeah, the pool is closed. Master plumber Ananobi is on site, and he is ready to do the job. Trade school foreman Scotty Barnes overseeing the job also. And yeah, that's what we want to see right now. No Kuzma. Sorry, bro. No body surfing today, cool dude Kuzma. Sorry, bro. The pool is closed. Yeah. Kareem saying there's literally over 100 former NBA players who would love to coach a G League team. Why the fuck did we think stats and analytics guy would suffice? That is such a good point. I'm serious. I mean, geez Louise. There could probably be like, I would be like, let Jamal McGlure do it. Seriously, let Jamal McGlure do it. I don't know. In some ways, I don't know why they looked at this guy and thought, oh, this guy's going to be a good head coach. Yeah, we should get him. Be a good head coach. Why? Who the fuck thought that? Was that Nick? Was Nick saying some stuff? Hey, Daryl, I'm going to really screw up the Raptors this year really bad, and I'll be with you soon. Don't worry. I'm going to get them to put this guy from The Office as the G League coach this year. It's going to be so good. All right. Aria, shh. Don't tell anybody our secret plan. Okay, Daryl. Bye. I never trusted Nick Nurse last year, undercover agent, working his way to get to his buddy Daryl Morey and the Sixers last year. He was on that plan in the middle of the season last year. He could have been on that plan going into the season. I did not understand why they picked Eric Khoury. I'm like, really, Masai? Eric Khoury? That's who you want to coach our G League this year? I'm like, okay, I'll watch. I'll see how it is. No, mid, pathetic, passive, sucks. That's the words to describe this shit. Cowboys saying, congratulations on your win in fantasy. To me, I'm just starting to think I know how to manage my roster. There you go. You're learning. It's a learning experience. In some ways, you're a younger team in development. And I'm like a higher level team, like the Nuggets. That's right. In some ways, Bradley is like a Wizards team coming up in the fantasy league because he's still getting his feet and learning. And meanwhile, teams like David's and Tom's and, mine we've been doing this and we're really into it. And that's why we're getting all serious. That's right. Who I got this week? Oh, I got Tom Duke this week, I think. Tom Duke, are you playing me this week? Look out. You're actually in town while we play each other. That means we can do some day-by-day trash talk in person because we're playing each other the week that Tom's in town. That was not by design. That's just dumb luck, Tommy. That's just dumb luck. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam. Forgot we tuned in earlier on game day. Happy Monday. So let's get the dub tonight. This is the Wizards. Yes, Fiercely Salsar. Yes, necessary. Must win. This is a must win. Raptors, don't play with your food. Beat the Wizards tonight. And if you have any kind of bullshit happen where you do not win tonight, yeah, tomorrow's stream is going to be a lot more of me going off like I did just a little while ago on Eric Khoury. Let's see. Monique is here. Good to see the super fan. Monique Lawrence. We love the super fan, the greatest. Monique Lawrence, community champion and a beacon of hope and light, and one of the best Raptors fans in the entire world. That's right. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Let's beat down the Wizards. Eric Khoury has a lot of questions to be answered. Shaking my head. Congratulations, Lindsey Dunn, joining the 905 family. Women always win. Yeah, I think she did a couple of the interviews last year. You know, in some ways, there's a spot because Savannah Hamilton graduated to the big leagues and is regular on the regular broadcast. So now there's somebody who need to be doing this. Last year, Akil did these interviews quite a bit, but it's interesting to see CP24's Lindsey Dunn doing the sideline reporting yesterday. It was good. I liked it. I think she does a good job. She's funny. I like her. I think that I have more respect for her and the press conferences and asking questions than a lot of those old heads like Mike Ganter and Doug Smith and Michael Grange. Yeah, Lindsey Dunn, you get an approval from the Raptorsfreak. We love you. You're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. And I wish you success in whatever you're doing around the Raptors. And it's kind of cool to see you actually involved with the franchise and instead of your TV station. There you go. There you go. Yeah, a lot of questions for Eric Khoury. They were asking him dumb questions in the press conference. Softballs. Yeah, go look in the comments. You'll see my questions for him. Why should any of us have any confidence in you, bro? That's what I would have asked him. I would have straight up said, why didn't you get Daryl Morey out of the game when he was obviously hurt and could not even walk? Like, why would you leave him in the game if every possession counts? Like, why would you tell your players that every possession counts? Take care of the ball. Don't get turnovers. Really preserve the ball. When you don't even fucking care about possessions to have players that can actually play on every possession. In some ways, it's like you got to take care of the ball. Well, you got to take care of your players. And if one of your players can't walk, you need to pull him out of the game. What are you fucking doing, man? Seriously, the problem I'm worried about is he was oblivious to it. Like, this is something on the court. You need to be aware of everything going on the court with all 10 players playing and the referees. And you were oblivious to one of your main players who can't even walk. And you weren't even like reacting to it. You were just standing there. I watched. I was like, okay, Eric, let me see how long it takes you to realize that Daryl Morso should probably come out of the game. And it was a lot longer than it should have been. And it was to the point where one of his coaches had to tell him to do it. It's not like he's like, and that even worries me too. It's like, okay, does that guy on the bench a better coach than you, Eric? Because he noticed it. He noticed it before you. Oh man, it's just a dumpster fire in some ways with him. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Chris is saying, laugh out loud. Coach Pat, and yeah, he seems too smart for the role. When I have heard him like a super geek coach. Coach Pat. What do you mean, Coach Pat? It's not Coach Eric. Perhaps he's just not in tune with the actual game as it's being played. Yeah, I don't think he has real experience. I don't know how much time he spent in a gym, running up and down the court, sweating his ass off, trying to fucking play against ballers. Like I have maybe at some point in my life. I don't know where Eric Khoury's played pickup ball. Has he played church league? Has he played any fucking organized ball? In theory, he could talk about it, but has he actually practiced it? Has he? Because I don't think he has. I don't see him being able to hoop. In some ways, I could see Darko shooting some shots at practice, maybe a little bit. You know, but in some ways, like I wonder about Eric's practical experience in any kind of way. It sounds like he's just a theoretical guy. Theoretically, I could do this. I looked at the numbers in the printout and I could theoretically get you guys to do this. And we do this. Okay, numbers, analytics. Maybe this is the over of going too far with analytical people being in charge. This is like you went too far, Masai. Putting in a statistician as a head coach. What are you, a madman? That man is not a coach. He has no coach's blood in him. He has no coach's blood in him. That's the thing. Y'all can't just think, oh, because they make smart decisions because of numbers and printouts that he should be coaching. There's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. It is one of the hardest jobs to do in the world. And that guy's not cut out for it. He just isn't. It's so fucking, I gave him a chance. I tried to talk him up all last year, Masai. And at this point, I just started throwing my hands up and say, this guy's a fail. He's just a big fucking fail. Tom Dick saying Khoury seemed like a different guy when he was on Raptors Tonight. Did he play any sports? I know he's smart, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go back and watch that Raptors Tonight. And I'm going to be like, what the fuck is this bullshit? That's probably what I'm going to be saying. All right, let's see. Kareem saying they need to allow Darko to get one of his guys to lead the 905. This way, we have synchronization in a bridge from NBA to G League. Yes. I don't know who it is. If Evo, Vin, one of those guys on the back bench. Send him down there. Even Jamal. Send fucking Jamal McGlure down there and let him run that team. That man's earned it. He's been around our organization all kinds of different ways. Maybe they've already decided, well, Jamal wouldn't be good at this because he might fucking cuss them out and then he'll get thrown out, or he might say something stupid like he does with his little cup or something like that. In some ways, Jamal's not refined enough to be a head coach. I don't know why the reason Jamal McGlure has been just kind of lurking around, community ambassador, assistant coach, practice coach, but he's never gotten a chance in like 10, 12 years of being around the Raptors to do something like that. I don't know. Maybe how do you determine who your stars are, Masai, as far as coaching prospects in the organization? Seriously, how do you determine that? I know Jama can't go back down there. There's no reason for Jama to go do the G League again. He's done it. He was very successful at it. But, there's got to be somebody. Maybe Darko has somebody from the outside he hasn't hired yet that he can bring in that he totally trusts and he has a working relationship from before. That's what we really want, because I don't see, like, if you're going to clean house and you're actually going to clean house and get rid of Rico Hines, who was a huge plus and a blessing on our team, and you're not even going to keep him, why the fuck would you keep Eric Khoury is what I'm saying. You're not even going to keep Rico Hines. I get Jim Sand. Jim Sand's amazing. This is a blessing to have him still here, and thank God he's still here. But why did you let Rico go to Philly? Why couldn't you keep him? But now you're going to keep Eric Khoury. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. Wayne saying, also not impressed, and I know front office ain't going through the season with him. I hope not. I don't know what they do. They have a 2-year commitment with them. In some ways, it's not going to matter if you fire him and you bring somebody else in. The players won't care. The players might actually get better from it. Seriously. In some ways, I wouldn't wait around on this. Maybe you give him 3 lives. He's got 2 down. He's got 1 left. So if you lose to Skyhawks tomorrow, yeah, maybe you are done. I don't know. I don't know what the how fucking failure he can be before we fucking can his ass. Seriously. Monique saying Dennis putting Joe Mazzulla in his place. That's my point guard, and I love it. Yeah, I'm glad Dennis has been outspoken about this. He's right. And a lot of people on both sides are saying he's right, both Celtics and Raptors Nation. But the Celtics fans are saying, yeah, you're right. We were disrespectful to you. So what? Everybody's disrespectful to you. And that's just what we're going to do continuously. The whole league's disrespectful against y'all. And we are going to continue this. What's new is what their attitude is. Yeah, sure, that was disrespectful to y'all, but we don't care. We're going to disrespect you every which way. Make your team wear red, white, and blue practice shirts before the game. Yeah, we're going to disrespect you every which way we can, is the NBA and the Boston's message to us. So we just got to beat their asses. That's what we got to do. All right, let's see. We got a Grady sighting in the stream here and the pictures. I see that. All right, let me see. Where am I? Okay, here. Cowboy saying, I agree. Get a Darko guy. Yeah, get a Darko guy to coach 905. I don't care. In some ways, maybe Khoury is not ready to switch. Like, that's a tough job. The switch from Nick's system to that. In some ways, maybe we shouldn't have put that on him. In some ways, he just doesn't sub right. He's too slow. He doesn't seem like he's engaged in the game. He doesn't seem like he actually knows what's going on. It seems like half the time things are just going over his head. There's a lot of that. I have no confidence in this guy. No confidence whatsoever. Kareem saying, we need to give Tom Duke a strike for absolutely obliterating my fantasy team. Really, Tom? 300 points? Laugh out loud. Is there a mercy rule? No, it's the in-season tournament, Kareem. You got to run up the score this year because it matters. Trust me, it will matter. All right, we'll give Tom Duke that for excellence. He ain't going to do that shit to me. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not going to let you run it up on me this week, Tommy. No, you're not. Fiercely saying, there are 5 players on the court and you don't notice one is injured? What the fuck? Yeah, he literally couldn't walk. Like, I felt bad for him. He's like limping like this. And like, he literally let him run up the court and back twice. And he didn't notice. That's how fucking oblivious this guy is. Oh my gosh. Tom Duke saying, haha, no way. Gerald beat me. Now I got Lex. Need some confidence about getting blocked yesterday. Yeah, I can't believe Gerald beat you. I guess Gerald got off his ass and started managing his team. That's good. Cool Cat saying Marquise 3-point is good. But I really think in this era of b-ball, his height will be have a impact. The tall guys are fast and long. It just means he's going to be really got to be sure shot, and he's got to have the right daylight. And in some ways, he has to really be on the weak side, away from maybe most of the defense. He'll find his chances. And in some ways, I like how dialed he is, and how he does make that net go swish and kind of gets it right through the middle of the hoop. It's not like a chunker. He has a very good shot, and he's a sure shot. And the more and more we're going to see it as he's successful. There's going to be nights where he will not miss, and he's going to make like crazy ass 3-pointers like crazy. I can see the future with Marquise to a degree. The other thing about him that is absolutely impressive so far is the way he passes through traffic, the way he's creative, the way he sees stuff. Daryl Morseau said it after the game. Playing with Marquise is fun because he sees things on the court that nobody else sees, and he makes things happen that nobody else sees. So he's a real true throwback kind of point guard, like Muggsy, John Stockton, Magic Johnson from like back in the day. He plays it like they used to, and I love that. I love that about him. So I'm really curious to see the things that happen with Marquise, because he's something. He's very, very intriguing to me. That height is going to be an issue. You're right. But maybe he can overcome it in certain ways somehow. He really has to rely on his quickness. He really has to rely on making his shots, and he has to rely on setting up his teammates. Yeah. Cowboy's saying, get sick him, Tom. All right, bring it. Come on, bring it. Cream saying, when Marquise doubles, he's almost guaranteed to get a deflection or help with a steal. Yeah, he's really good at knocking the ball out of the other player's hands. Like he's getting deflections, he's getting his hand up in there, and he knocks it loose. And he's so quick, he runs around them and he grabs it, and then it's a layup the other side. Yeah, he's really good at finishing in traffic too, with big people around him. In some ways, he's very good at using his body to get room or the rim, or just kind of like doing an up and under. There's a couple of different moves he has at the rim. They're a little bit Fred Van-esque, but it's still really good. He's a good finisher, and he's got good English and spin to get it to go down and fall in. So there's certain things that he does fundamentally really well. The other thing that Daryl said about him that's really interesting was Daryl said it's really nice having a guy on the court like Nowell that really knows the game, that really knows like basketball fundamentals and like the way it's supposed to be played. That's something that Daryl Morseau said about Marquise yesterday. So there's a certain, even though he's a youngster, in some ways to be where he is with his height, he has to be fundamentally so good and really understand what good basketball looks like. And that is something that is in Nowell already. And I love that. I love that so much about him. Wayne's saying, reality check. We are really watching 4 teams. Obviously, Raptors, Phillies, Bucks, and Rockets. Fred is performing, and we want him to succeed. We have no dislike for Rockets, just Fred. Yeah, we have no dislike for Rockets, just Fred. Okay, I want to see this. You guys can go watch the other guys and really pay attention to them, but I'm so focused on just us that I'm not watching the Rockets. I'm not watching Sixers. I'm not watching the Bucks. You guys can watch them and come back and tell me what you saw, but I don't have time to watch them too. I'll keep up on what's happened, like seeing that Fred and them beat the Nuggets last night, seeing the Sixers continuing their streak also. I'll keep up with them, but in some ways I don't have a focus on them. And it's true. Once again, we need to celebrate our Raptors legacy guys, because even though Kawhi's wearing a Clippers jersey, he's a champion with us also. Even though Fred's wearing a Rockets jersey, he's still one of our GOATs. Kyle, it's DeMar. It's the same with all of them. In some ways, their success is still shared with us. And we can't hate on that in some ways. We really can't. Cool Cat saying, I joined Houston Spaces. They said they will pay Fred VanVleet $50 million out of their donations. And they say, thank you, Memphis, for disrespecting Dylan so we can have him. They said many years of misery is now changing. It's so funny because once again, I'm going to say this. Houston, the only difference was y'all opened your pocketbooks. Y'all could have had this a couple years earlier, but your owner was being a cheapskate. And he was trying to run the team for profit by not investing in it, by having any payroll. Well, the NBA said y'all have to pay this summer. And that's part of the reason why y'all are better this year. It's just because y'all had to pony up and spend the money or lose it or pay penalties. So it just made sense. Get these big contracts on because y'all been running with no salary for like 2 or 3 years. What do you expect? You pay nothing, you don't get nothing. So really, that's the biggest difference. You can say it could be this player A or player B. It doesn't matter if it's Fred or Dylan. Any kind of upper better players that came in, you paid them. This was going to happen to a degree. Now, I guess it had to be fit and chemistry, sure. But in some ways, that's a big reason why they just decided to start using their salary. It's funny. G saying happy for Fred. I defended him because he was made the scapegoat. Me too. He has shooters now. On our team, he was the shooter, and he takes more shots. Hang on. Now, but no one is counting because they are winning. Well, this is the thing. Good times will have good times, and he's had good times here, and he's rode high with us too. But we'll see when they go through a bad spot, when they not working exactly right, when they get into a bad part of their schedule. Maybe the schedule makers made it real easy for them to look good right now because they wanted to help them. There's a lot of different ways. I really feel like the schedule makers are one of the most fucked up things in this league, just like the refs, that they really set up a red carpet for certain teams to like excel and get on really good win streaks. And I think this may be the case in some ways with some of this stuff happening to the Rockets. Now, beating the Nuggets, that's not slouch. That's the world champions, and they've been killing everybody. So that's a huge accomplishment. Huge accomplishment. But also, I'd have to look at their schedule very specifically, and I'll be like, oh yeah, well they've had this and this and this thing. They've kind of been set up to have a nice little run right now, But that may not be the case in December. That may not be the case later on next year. That they have really horrible runs where there's really bad, and then all of a sudden they're on instead of a 6-game winning streak, they're on like an 8-game losing streak. That shit can still happen in the Rockets. Let's just say it's just like a game is a game of runs. The season is a season of runs. And there may be a good run going on for the Rockets right now, but they may have a really bad run for a stretch. It could be all kinds of different reasons why also. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. Wow. Enjoy it right now, Rockets fans. Enjoy it right now. You may not still be a playoff team. I'm serious. You may not be a playoff team. You may be playing really well right now. You beat the champions last night. Don't just say you got the playoffs already. You got to jump a couple levels still because y'all were a bottom feeder team for so long. Kenrick saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to Kenrick James, Chronic Art James, tattoo artist here in downtown Toronto. If you need a tattoo or even art commissioned, he can do some nice, really awesome, beautiful art for you at your discretion of what you want. If you want a tattoo, Kenrick's your guy. So find him on social media, Kenrick Chronic Art James here in the GTA, baby. Tom Duke saying, let's go, Kenrick. That's right. Let's go, Kenrick. Tommy couldn't find any gold clothing yesterday. Well, I mean, what do you want to do? You will figure this out. I'm pretty sure they're going to have gold shirts in the seats for Friday. We'll figure it out. We're going to get some gold clothing for the in-season tournament game on Friday. It's all gold, baby. Golden tickets and golden jerseys given away at Graffiti Alley yesterday, downtown in Toronto, giving away the golden stuff. In some ways, I get it. Graffiti Alley is a tourist location in Toronto, but when y'all are standing back in the alley, y'all still look kind of dirty and gross when you're standing back there. I'm sorry. It's not the most pristine location, and in some ways, it looked kind of like grungy, y'all being back there. Maybe you pick better walls. Some of those walls look gross and kind of messed up in Graffiti Alley. You could have picked some better walls to shoot your stuff on yesterday, Raptors at men. There's like some Uber 5000 art back there that's amazing. I know you don't want to use that maple leaf mural. That doesn't make no sense. But maybe that, I know you can't get to the Toronto mural too, and it's too big. But that fish mural on that wall, y'all should probably use that one maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to, I don't know. It was really weird. You guys were like behind the dumpster. I get it. Giving away golden Raptors jerseys yesterday. Cool Cat saying, Masai and Coach Darko look stressed and unhappy at the Raptors 905. There's a pic of Masai in the hallway on his phone. Yeah. I'm watching this. I'm reading their faces too. Darko looked really not happy. And Masai looks really tired and kind of like forlorn is what the word I kind of looked at with him. Yeah, I don't know. Do something about it. If you guys are fucking pissed, do something about it. Fire Eric. Do something about it. Seriously. Don't stand for it. That's what we want to be. Just like that old guy in the old movie saying, I'm not going to take it anymore. Be like that guy. Seriously. Cowboys saying, Kareem, bam, I'm playing you in fantasy this week. Look at this. The matchups are garnering interest now because there's been a couple of weeks now. We got records. We see some 3-0s. We see some 1-2s. We see some 2-1s. We see some 0-3s. There's going to be some interesting fantasy stuff coming up more and more as the season goes on. There you go. G saying, throwing it out there, Grady will have a great game today. I think so. This is a good game for him to get a chance to hopefully do some good stuff. If Gary's not out there, well, I'd love for Grady to step up and do a little bit more of Gary kind of stuff if Gary is missing the game again tonight. So yeah, I like this prediction, G. I could see Grady Dick having a double-digit scoring game tonight, and I hope that's true. We need the scoring off the bench. So Grady, get your game face on. This is a game where you could do something as a rook and help us out big time. Do well tonight, and then I'll be like, why isn't he going to College Park and playing College Park? Or why isn't he going to Mississauga and playing College Park tomorrow? Because that's kind of what I'd like to see him do. I know they just came back from this road trip and he just traveled. Give him that day off, but maybe you could suit him up for Tuesday's game in Mississauga against College Park Skyhawks. I would love to see Grady there tomorrow, Masai and Darko. Can you make this happen? Seriously, can we use I feel like we're not even using our 905 team. Why do we even have it? I feel like, yeah, we got names, we got a coach, but we're not even fucking using it. You're not getting anything out of it right now. And that is sending Coloco and Grady and young players down there to get better or whatever. I just don't see anything happening worthwhile on the 905 level all last year and so far this year. It's just a waste. Why are we wasting our development team so much right now, Masai? Seriously, why are we wasting it? Fiercely saying at Cool Cat, good. They need to see it and act accordingly. If Lex noticed, for sure they noticed. Yeah, I'm sure they probably noticed this shit. Like, seriously, bro, you can't be asleep standing at the sideline. You cannot. You got to be on top of things. You got to be like, are you taking caffeine? You need Pascal to bring you some Red Bull complimentary bucket or something like that. Cause you seem like you were asleep yesterday. You're like, yeah, sleep at the wheel. That's what you get. You run into a wall, motherfucker. That's right. Sleep at the wheel. That's right. David saying, gee, I hope he posted an appropriate stat line. Yeah, you're talking about with Grady? Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, you want me to read the box score tomorrow, David? And misread it, not read all the intangibles, the Kurt Rambis, Dennis Rodman intangibles. You don't think I'm getting those intangibles from Grady that I see his hustling and is getting all over the place? I see it. I give him bonus for that. I do, but I want to see stats too. You can't just do cardio and hustle. He's got to get stats also. Chris is saying, been watching a lot of various teams and the refs are messed up NBA wide. I think betting has a lot to do with it. Gilbert Arenas has said they watch the over-under and in fact do cheat. Well, we know this. We know this. Donaghy, the scandal is not gone away. They just got a patsy and tried to make him seem like he's the only problem. These motherfuckers are doing this the whole time. Scott Foster's the ringleader. Yeah, we know this. We know that they look at this kind of shit and that this is a factor. I totally believe in this. I don't like Gilbert Arenas. I think he's full of shit and I don't watch his show, but he's right. He's right on this. We know this is true. There's all kinds of fishy shit. And Bet Rivers and all these fucking FanDuel, you're ruining sports. This is what smart people back in the day realized for so long that they kept betting out of sports that they realized it's going to ruin sports. And y'all greedy motherfuckers that just want to make a quick buck right now, you're going to destroy the institutions of sport in the world because you're greedy and you want to make some money. It's all going to be corrupt. And at some point, it's going to turn people off. And they're going to say, well, why do we even watch? Because it's all fixed. And it's all just a scam to get gambling money to different places. Seriously, this is the kid caboodle y'all started, Adam Silver. This is why David Stern never wanted a team in Las Vegas. This is why David Stern never wanted gambling to be around the league. And y'all opened it up and allowed it now. Well, that's what happens. You have a short-term financial gain and you destroy something sacred and awesome and amazing that forever. That's what you do. I hope it's worth the little bit more money that y'all fuckers make to destroying the institutions of professional sports in the world today. I hope it's worth it, y'all. I really do. I really do. You fucking pieces of shit destroying sports with betting, being able to bet legally on that shit. You should have just left it to veto at the dock and let them do the inside or underside. Illegal trade and legal drugs. Illegal betting, that should all still be illegal. When you make it legal, then you just legalize fucking crime is basically what I seen is what's going on right now. Let's see. Let me see who's next. We got Cool Cat at Fiercey with today's game. We come out aggressive and get a W and all is right with everyone. I'm trying to see if I can get a last minute ticket. Fingers crossed. Go cheer, return it home. There you go, Cool Cat. I'm going to give you a dunk for being enthusiastic and wanting to go to the game today. It may be an interesting game for the crowd because it's a Monday and we're not looking that good. We just stunk the bed and I don't know how many people are going to be there. In some ways, it could be a very empty arena. So going down there and supporting Cool Cat, that's awesome. I'd go down there myself, but I'm already going to 2 games this week. And, in some ways, I appreciate you going down there and showing support. Wayne's saying Washington doesn't play defensive intensely. So if we attack consistently, we should score points aggressively. Yeah. Yeah. They're not a good team. They don't have enough talent. They're a pushover. They're a team that everybody needs to beat the fuck out of this whole year. Seriously. They don't even have Porzingis at this point. Not that Porzingis was that much help. It's just that, they're bad. They're bad. And we don't have no business losing at all to them this year. We need to sweep them. So we need to beat them tonight. We blow them out just like we did in that preseason game on a Friday night or already last month. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. MSJ saying Fred didn't fit the team anymore as Barnes needed to make the leap into the point guard role. I can agree with this. I feel like we could have made the transition this summer naturally without all the bullshit last year is what I'm saying. I think that if people had been more patient and allowed things to try and do things with Fred around, that he was going to leave no matter what in the summer because of the money situation and what he did. And everything was going to be fine and everything. We didn't need to make a death threat to his mom. We didn't need to make a YouTube channel just to sully him and run him out of town. We didn't need to turn on Fred like y'all did last year. It was all going to work out the way it was supposed to. He's going to take the big money and leave. And it was going to be a way that was supposed to happen this way, the transition to Scott's team from Fred's team. It was all naturally going to happen. And all the extra noise and bullshit that y'all said toxically last year was unnecessary, is what I'm going to say right now. So, yeah, I'm with you, MSJ. This was going to happen either way. The money thing was going to happen this way, no matter what. Houston was in that position. He was going to take that money, and it was going to naturally go this way. We didn't need to make it ugly and turn on Fred and do stupid shit like some of y'all did. I love and support Fred to this day, and I still do. And there you go. It was just going to naturally transition anyway, you idiots. You didn't need to throw Fred under the bus. All right, let's see. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. Lex, please explain to the negative folks that the Raptors have faced mostly top 5 teams on a brutal schedule. To be almost 500 is a good thing. Side note, screw Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight. Yeah, not a fan of Bobby Knight. He's a controversial character. He's abusive. He was very abusive towards his players. He threw stuff at them. He would literally was very abusive towards them. He played mind games. He was verbally abusive. He was emotionally abusive to his players. That's how much he fucking cared. You couldn't get away with the way Bobby Knight used to coach in today's society. It's not PC. It's not cool. It's a little bit too much. Let's just put it that way. And that's why he's an 11 on that scale. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I want to explain what Infamous has asked me to do here real quick. The Raptors have an extremely difficult schedule so far in this first month of the season. They, first of all, put us in a 4 games and 6 nights situation to start the season right away. And it was against top caliber opponents. Minnesota has taken off since we beat them on opening night. They are one of the top teams in the West since then. So it's really great that we beat Minnesota on opening night, y'all. Chicago was a game on that Friday that we should have won. We dropped the ball, but forgive us. We're a team with a new coach, a new system. We're figuring it out. And in some ways, that is a game that I get pissed off about. But it was a learning lesson game. And sometimes there's just games in the season that are going to be like that. The next night, we lost to the Sixers in our own building in a scheduled loss by the NBA schedule makers. Nick Nurse's team is running real good. They got them propped up real good. But that's the whole reason why. Then what? We lost to Portland on a Monday night in a game we should have won. With actually that Portland team on the down low was rising up. And they went on like a 3 or 4 game win streak after they beat us that first game. So it's like, this is true. The caliber of the teams we've been playing, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Boston, we've played all the top teams in the East already for the most part. And we've even played some of the top teams from the West, like Dallas, Minnesota, and even a young upstart team led by Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs. So, yeah, the schedule was insidious. 4 games and 6 nights to start. And then the spread out road trip that we just went on, that was just as insidious in some ways also. Very fucked up. Very, very fucked up. And I tell you why that road trip was fucked up, because it had 2 games in between every single game. And we got our guys just sitting in hotels for fucking 11 days. Yeah. You tell me that's not fucked up. They give us our 2-day rest days on the road and away from their families and at home. That's fucked up. I'll tell you that right now. Wayne Strainer saying, old news, Lex, but Fred is not here because of money. Yeah. I would have taken an extra 13 million. Yeah, more than we wanted to spend. Bobby Webster said very much 30 million is the most we will give Fred VanVleet. 30 million a year. That is the most we would give him. If he wanted to stay in Toronto, he would have been paid $30 million this year. But no, they gave him an extra 13 million per year, an extra almost $40 million on the contract. Yeah, what are we going to do with that? He's going to go take the money. He's going to go to Rockets. That's right. Wayne's also saying, again, happy for Fred's production. Don't see it lasting, though. A lot of top teams are cruising. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're set up right now. They look good. In some ways, they want to help the Houston franchise. And in some ways, they may have an easier schedule to start. And later on, it may even out more. They're going to have a rough period. Watch. Coquette saying, Sengun is a good center. Watched him in FIBA sometime back. Fred is making sure the big man eats. Fred seems to be encouraging Jalen and Sengun's chemistry. Maxey on a tear. We are good. 6. We would have been at 6 W's. Yeah, we would have been at 6 W's. We should have been. That's okay. We will climb. We get a rough schedule to start, and it will build toughness for our culture reset. Yeah, I like Cool Cat's optimism and what she's saying and pointing to. You know, there are going to be stretches where we're going to have easier games at some point. And yeah, one is tonight. This is an easier game tonight. So we need to win this game tonight. And we shouldn't take it easy, but we need to take it very seriously and absolutely capitalize on the games that are very gettable. And tonight is one of those for sure. Yeah, I think that Fred's doing a really good job with Jalen and Alpern because they honestly are buying in and they really are respecting him as a leader on this team. And they're getting results from it. That's what I'm saying. I wish that our guys would have listened to Fred a little bit better last year. But whatever. Maybe it's just the ingredients just didn't fit personality-wise. I could see that. In some ways. But it doesn't mean anybody hates each other or didn't like each other. It's just there's maybe a little bit of a personality clash on the team last year. Who knows? The people that are gone are Nick, Fred, Delano. There's reasons why those 3 guys are gone. And in some ways, I feel like we're in a good place starting over. And I like where we're at, even with those changes. Some people, casual fans will be like, we're so idiots. We lost Fred. We lost Nick. Look at what they're doing now. We're idiots. Yeah, you guys are idiots because you're not looking at the whole picture. And you're not understanding the whole thing. You have a very shallow understanding of what's happened with the Raptors in the last year. You go ahead and just kind of like read the newspaper and maybe watch 5 minutes of a game here or there. You leave the heavy lifting to us here at this channel. We're paying attention to everything. Y'all can be casuals and kind of like make your opinions. Well, obviously the Raptors made a mistake losing Nick. Look at how good the Sixers are doing. Or obviously the Raptors did a mistake losing Fred. Look at how good the Rockets are doing. You go ahead and keep doing that, y'all. And not understand the context or the reasoning behind these things that have happened. You go ahead and you out yourself as a casual Raptors fan who really doesn't understand what's happened. That's what you are when you do that, just so you know. And yeah, it's right now they're having instant success. We're going to get that success too. And in some ways, I'd like to slow cook our success so it really lasts longer. And it's a really good, awesome thing. So in some ways, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. That's right. Cowboy's saying, I vote for Mo to run the 905. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see Mo involved in management of the 905 team. That would be really cool. That's an awesome idea, Cowboy. I'm going to give you a dunk for that. That would be so cool. Seriously. Masai, let's get Monique down there. And Monique, I'll be your assistant. I want to be the assistant to the president of the team or the GM. I don't know if you're GM or coach or whatever what job she gets. I just want to be your right hand man. I'll come down there if Monique gets the job. I want to come down there and help her do the job. I'll be down there with her. That's right. She'll make all the decisions, and I'll make sure people do them. Is what I'll do. I was like, you're not listening to the great Monique. She's like the Messiah in training. You better be listening to Monique. You didn't hear what she wants. She wants this, Eric. Oh, you're fired. I'm sorry. You didn't listen. You're out. You're out. Monique told you need to win that game against College Park. You didn't take care of business. So I'm sorry. You're fired, bro. You're fired. Mo said it. I would love that. That'd be so awesome. That'd be like a dream scenario. Seriously, Masai, hire Monique Lawrence, and hopefully she'll hire me afterwards. Tom Duke's got Grady on blast with Mo. That's awesome pairing. I love that, Tom. Coquette saying, I love Lindsey Dunn. Hang on. Let me see. No. Hang on. It jumped. All right. Here it is. I like Lindsey Dunn in her sports reporting. She also was an athlete in her career, and injury cut it short. I like her sense of humor in her reporting. Yeah, she's cool. Like, I didn't know she was an athlete. That's really cool. I never knew that about Lindsey. I thought she was just one of these people that came up as like, I'm a CP24 reporter and I just like, I'm a reporter, but she was an athlete also. That's very cool. In some ways I didn't know that because I see her do lifestyle stories on CP24. She doesn't just do Raptors. She doesn't just cover the Jays or sports. I see her doing stories on all kinds of different things on there. So I had no idea she had an athletic background. Very, very cool. And I agree. Her sense of humor is awesome. And just kind of her demeanor and kind of the way she carries herself is very like fun. And Lindsey Dunn's a big thumbs up from me. Yeah, Tristan's got Grady on blast. I love it. Good to see you, Tristan Phipps. David's saying his 5 stars of the game for tonight are Malachi, Scotty, OG, Precious, and Darko. All right, that's a good prediction for tonight. Cool Cat saying from interviews, Eric Khoury never played basketball. He has an interest in the sport and learning to be a coach. He is whip smart genius academically. He does not come from a sports background. That's a huge glaring thing. That's why that man should be in the office doing the good things that he can do in there and not on the sideline. Not on the sideline. No. Not on the sideline. Not on the sideline, please. Not on the sideline anymore, please. Listen, he didn't even want to become a coach in the G League. Like his dream of becoming a coach in the G League happened in like the last 3 or 4 years. He started the Raptors. He was an intern and he came in like 10 years ago and he was just really kind of doing odd jobs and stuff. He was a scientist. In fact, he got into the job just haphazardly. It's just like, oh, you should come in. This is interesting. This is a stats thing. I know you study this in thermodynamics or whatever the fuck, but this is a basketball job with stats. Oh, let's go do it just for fun, just for a lark. That's how he got his foot into there. It's not like he played basketball his whole life when he was young. It's not like he coached or did anything like that. He got a job as a stats guy with the Raptors, got his foot in the door. He just hung around. They liked him. He's personable. You're really smart, Eric. I like you, Masai. It could be that Masai sees Eric as like a Teresa Resch, somebody in his organization that's really smart and awesome. He wants to just promote him and give him more chances. He's just one of his touched guys. Like, Eric, you're my guy. And that's part of the reason why. In this case, Masai, you may need to just say, okay, this isn't going to work because the experiment with the office guy who isn't really in sports, running that team is not working. I'm sorry. He can be an assistant coach. He can do what he's done before for us, but he's hit his head on the ceiling of what he should be doing. Really, he has. Smooth saying, is Max McClung on the 905 or an NBA roster? This is an interesting question because Mac McClung was actually traded kind of to us before. Like he was involved in the Jeffrey Doughton trade. But this is the thing, Smooth. He wasn't traded to us in that trade. He was traded to Orlando's G League team. So he's on the G League for Osceola Magic. That's where he is right now. So yeah, he's not on the 905. He's not on an NBA roster. He's on the Osceola Magic because when they traded Jeffrey Doughton to the Delaware Bluecoats, his rights got sent there. The rights to Mac McClung went to Orlando. So that's where he is. He's in Orlando. He was never traded to us. We never actually had Mac McClung. Let's see. Fiercely saying Jamal led the Scarborough Shooting Stars to a championship. There you go. There you go. Maybe that's the place y'all need to look. Go look at those CBL coaches. Maybe that's a really good farm system for our team up here in Canada is look into the CBL guys. We had a CBL player in our training camp for a 905. We have there's a crossover. There has been already and a couple times with people like Christian Vital and stuff like that. Maybe there's some upstart young coaches in the CBL ranks that we may need to mine getting coaching talent from down the road, Masai Ujiri. I like that idea. There you go. Jamal McGlure did something in the CBL. I don't know if he was the coach, though. He was actually like the GM, wasn't he? Or something like that in that situation. A Country Con saying, good morning, Raptors freaks. Lex, I caught the 905 highlights. Marquise can shoot like Fred. He gets past his defender and makes good passes. Call him up. Call up Maker too. He's a great shooting big. In the first half, yeah, Country Con. Maker was actually making them. But I still like Mohamedou is the best one on that team. But Marquise, I like your confidence in him and what you're saying that you see in him right now. I see it too. And I think that he's going to be fine and he's going to get his times to make really awesome things happen in the NBA. I could see it. I could very much see it. Cool Cat saying, it's okay, Lex. It's in principle, we had to let Rico go so that Coach Darko can have complete ownership of his coaching staff. Remember, this year is a fact-finding and reset. It's okay, slow and steady. I'm all about that too, Cool Cat. That's why I'm like, why didn't we reset the 905 with it all too? That's like I was mystified why I heard Eric Khoury got kept on after the everybody else got fired in the coaching staff. Why the fuck are you keeping Eric Khoury then? Like seriously, you getting rid of Adrian, Earl Watson, Trevor Gleason, Rico Hines, all these guys from last year, and you're gonna keep Eric Khoury? Gross. Gross. My brother's here. Good morning, Carl. Good to see you, man. Let's go. Let's go to the Utah Jazz game in December. My brother is going to get here in time around Christmas, and we got tickets. We're going as a family to the Jazz game on the 23rd. I'm so excited to go to a game with my niece and nephew. I'm so excited about this, Carl. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to get to share my favorite place with my family. And it's going to be such a beautiful thing when we get to go to that game, Utah Jazz, December 23rd. I love it. I love it. We're going. PS Shooter saying Raptors G League coach needs to be banished to the shadow realm. PS Shooter's getting a dunk because that is hilarious. That is so funny. The shadow realm. He's pulling some Dungeons and Dragons shit out here. The shadow realm. Dungeons and Dragons. We need a real coach that can develop guys to becoming our bench mob again. 100% PS Shooter. I'm with you, man. I'm with you on this. The shadow realm. Awesome stuff, man. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a big smile. All right, let's see. Carl's saying good morning, freaks. Good morning to you, Carl. David's saying hi. And Tom Duke's showing the solidarity with my brother Carl. Trevor J saying he got a talented 905 roster, but does not know how to coach them. I agree with this. He really does have some really good talent on that team, and he does not utilize them. I have no confidence in them to win the game at the end. I see the other team doing really smart things and tightening things up with defense and just smart offensive, like taking care of the ball. And meanwhile, I see our guys like not concentrating, got kind of really a lot of lapse of mental judgment like throughout the game where these guys are just not tuned in or within their head and in the game. They're just like fucking around out there. Seriously, there's a lot of that I get from them. I have no confidence that these guys are prepared or in the right mindset to try and win. In some ways, we've seen Darko have changes with the team, San Antonio in particular, that were very effective. I've never seen Eric Khoury in the year last year and the 2 games so far this year ever motivate this team to come back and do something to win games at the end. They do it because Jeffrey Doughton Jr. hits big shots and carries them home. They do it because Ron Harper makes a miracle 3 or something like that. But it's never, ever because Eric oriented them or got them in the right headspace to do it. He's just not the right kind of guy to be a coach. He just really isn't. How is he going to motivate these guys? What does he come in the locker room at halftime and say, okay, guys, I looked at the stats, and you guys are not shooting good free throws right now. And you really need to take care of the ball more. Coach, I can't hear you. What are you saying? I'm trying to talk right now, Daryl. Please. I can't hear you, though. Can you talk a little louder? Can you have a little more passion? Can you give a shit more? Seriously. That's what I'm saying right now. Cool Cat saying, on the days Raptors don't play, I watch Rockets, Bucks, Philly, Miami, Clippers, supporting the Raptors folks I genuinely like. I want them to do good in their career. There you go, Cool Cat. That's a good Raptors fan. And I can't watch basketball every single day. I put so much time into this channel and just caring about the Raptors. I can't watch other teams. I can't get on League Pass and just watch basketball games all night long like some people do. I just can't. In some ways, it would really dilute my very razor sharp focus on our particular franchise. And I just don't have time. I'll look at stuff vicariously and I'll give my opinions on happenings around the league, but I don't have the time. I put so much time into this channel and doing research on the team just itself that I can't do the whole league like that. And in some ways, I've got my own stuff I've got to work on in my own life with my own work and things I have to have time for. So, but I appreciate you keeping tabs on them and stuff like that. Smooth Brown Man saying, in all seriousness, what do we think the Raptors' plan is regarding OG and Pascal? There's a significant chatter out of Philly about them. Well, I don't care. Let them talk. It's like, this is nothing new. There's been a chatter about Pascal and OG for like 5 years. So Smooth, I'm not worried about it. There's been smoke for a while. The smoke has been there. It doesn't mean that fire is like starting to burn or anything. So whatever happens, happens. I really do give it up to the higher power. I give it up to Masai's judgment. I give it up to Bobby Webster's phone call. And none of it has to do with me or me having any control. And if I get any worry, or like some of the Raptors Nation's so nervous, they're like negative nillies. They're, oh, we're going to let them leave for nothing. And they're all like predicting disaster already. I'm not going to be like that. I don't put unnecessary suffering on myself when it may not even be necessary. Gary Trent Jr. opting in this summer was one of those things. Like, y'all are freaking out about Gary so much. That's unnecessary suffering. And then boom, I was right. He opted in and stayed with us. So I'm going to tell people, don't put like anguish and worry on layaway. Start having it right now. You may never have to pay that shit. So it's like, I'm not going to worry about OG's extension. I'm not going to worry about Pascal. I'm not going to worry about trade talk, because who cares? That shit has been there already. Things are going to happen the way they're supposed to. Things are going to happen the way they do. And hopefully Masai and Bobby do a good job and everything gets worked out in the Raptors' favor in the right way. That's all I can think. It's trust in Masai. It's a basic principle of this channel and us, is trust in Masai. So, I'd love for them to keep OG if they have to choose between the two of them. I'd love for them to keep both of them if there is a possible way to do that. So we'll see. We'll see. Dave, and I don't give a shit what Philly or Boston or any other team is saying. Oh, we want this, we want that. These motherfuckers say they want shit all the time. And the Sixers Nation's feeling all big in their britches right now because they got some success. So they're a little bit more vocal. It's the same shit with Boston right now. Those two fan nations are a little bit more out of pocket with their bullshit that they're saying because they're riding high. Let's just put it that way. David's saying to keep them and win a chip. That's an easy formula. There you go. David's got the right plan. The plan is to keep those motherfuckers on our team and win a chip. That's right. That's the plan. Cool Cat saying that smooth. Lex is not tolerating trade chatter about our current players. Quit while you're ahead. Well, I didn't mind what he was saying. I answered it the way I had to answer it. In some ways, I wish more people would take it the way I'm taking it. As far as like, what are you fucking giving yourself misery about this? Why are you stressing out about OG and Pascal so much? Just let these guys do their job on the court, and hopefully it'll work out. They get their money and they stay in Toronto. Let those guys do their job in the front office. They are the ones who understand all the parameters and variables of the whole situation way better than we do. And we need to just let these guys do their job. And our job is to go to the game, support the team, and cheer for them. That's what our job is. Let's see. David's saying, oh, you lose your head. Yeah, no, Smooth's fine. Smooth's fine. There's nothing out of pocket about this. And sometimes this is a real concern. And this is something to talk about. He didn't come in and say, we need to trade Pascal right now. That's something that I would react to. That's something I would react to. But he was very fair about it. There's nothing wrong with what Smooth did, guys. Infamous is saying, Lex, scheduling for games is mostly based on arena availability, so I can't blame the schedule makers completely. Yeah, but there's priority in this. There's priority in this. And I'm going to say this, Infamous, think about this. If you are the NHL or the NBA and you're in a building and you know the money that you get for either of those teams, now really the people they got to figure it out with is NHL, right? Because they share the same buildings quite often. Now, in a lot of cases, there's already an unspoken word that Saturday nights is kind of NHL night for a lot of the arenas that have NHL teams. So then they kind of displaces Friday to being an NBA night. Well, it's a puzzle piece. It's a big, huge logic puzzle. And they made it even more crazy with this in-season tournament and all kinds of other factors. This is true. But also in the same way, they can make up different algorithm schedules. They kind of come out with like a ton of different schedules. They look at them. Well, this will work. We can put this out. We can put this out. And they look at all the different ones. And they could really look at it and be like, well, this one has this happening with this. And this has this happening. And it could be between like 12 different schedules that they made. They look at it and they're like, well, this will really help this team. And this will not help this team. You know, there's a lot more deviousness to it. You know, in some ways, the NBA gets priority. You know, sure. If Taylor Swift has a concert and she's got those dates nailed down already in certain places, sure, that she may have priority over the NBA. But I'm going to tell you right now, the NBA probably has more priority than the NHL. And they also have more priority over like making the facilities be what they need them to be. So I get what you're trying to say. And I agree that's true to a degree. But don't be surprised if they have like multiple schedules and they look at them and they fine tune which one may be like at more helpful for some teams and not as helpful for other teams. You know, if I could say that we've had a nice schedule recent years, I would, but we haven't. They've absolutely given us dog shit and really, really shitty fucking kind of shit for our schedule. And other teams have been getting cushy shit. Trust me. You know, another signifier of this is really interesting is they're doing this thing later in the season that's really weird, where we have a really long road trip where we're gone for a long time. We have like 8 or 9 games on the road out west. And then we'll have like a period where we'll play like 6 or 7 games at home and they just stay here. There's like really weird periods where this happens this season. There's a couple other games that are really fishy to me. Like that's very fishy to me that we're playing the Miami Heat, both games in Miami at the end of the season over a 3-day span. That they want our guys to be down in Miami for the end of the season right before the playoffs or the play-in. Yeah, you don't think that's kind of calculated? Why would they put both Miami games at Miami as the last 2 games on the season for us? Think about that, Infamous. Think about that. Seriously. Have our guys down in Miami for a few days and have days off in between right before we're supposed to be getting ready for the postseason? Yeah. There's a lot of fishy shit if you really read between the lines and look at it. And they have a couple different schedules. They try and figure it out and they say, well, this would work or this will work. It's really, really a lot more intricate and crazy than you think. Fiercely saying at Cool Cat, hope you find a ticket. I hope she does too. I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. And I'll bet you she'll find it for a good price too. Shaq saying Grady needs to go to the 905, bring up Ron Harper Jr., scrap the 6'8 vision and get proven shooters in trades. There you go. I like your what you're saying, Shaq Lindsey. I can get behind a lot of that. Kareem saying, I need Lex to say fuck in every message. Something about swearing gets me through my day. There you go, Kareem. All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to just drop F-bombs if they're not necessary. It kind of dilutes them. It doesn't sound as good if I'm just going to say fuck every other word. So I really want to save it for when I'm going nuclear. Shaq Lindsey saying Memphis beat the Clippers. Yeah, what the fuck? Well, that's James Harden effect, I guess. Stargate saying take that trade talk to Raptors Digest, Amateur Hour Sports, or Pensair and the rest of those prattle talkers. There you go. I love that you said prattle talkers. That's awesome. Hey, Yardy's here, guys. Toronto Yardy. Hey, everyone. I'm late. Good to see you, Toronto Yardy. Check out Toronto Yardy's YouTube channel. He's got Raptors content on his YouTube channel. Quick reactions. He's got some video game stuff going on his channel also. A great follow if you're a Raptors fan. Toronto Yardy. His YouTube channel is awesome. Yardy saying, I'm still mad at Boston coach Joe Mazzulla. If that was against the Lakers, he wouldn't call that challenge. Hopefully Toronto and Darko does that to them. See how they feel. Thanks again for the support and follow who subscribed it. Yeah, I'm glad we could give you a little bit of bump. And, you know, I'll continue to promote you. Every time you're here, Briardi, I'll encourage people to come see you. You know what? If the Lakers had been in that situation other than us, Laker Nation would be acting crazy against Boston right now. Yeah, they would be saying all kinds of stuff, although they may have turned on their team too. They may be like, well, we shouldn't have been down by 30 and so upset. I get that. And that's a valid argument the other side is making. You don't want to be upset about getting that call like that. Make the game closer so it doesn't look so egregious. That's on you, Raptors. And in some ways, I have to own up to this and say, that's right. That's right. We got to be better is what I'm saying. So Cool Cat saying most players only have 2 good contracts. Get your money while you can. That's right. You can get those big contracts. You got your rookie contracts in that time, and then you come around and then boom. And then, yeah, you got to get paid when you can get paid, y'all. You got to get paid when you can get paid. Shaq's saying, I'm worried about Precious. His development is being hindered by his injuries and his lack of play time. Maybe Precious isn't a 5. Playing alongside Chris doesn't help. Precious plays better with the starters, with Scotty and Pascal. I'm not too worried about Precious. I think that he was okay in his first game back. Of course, his shot wasn't back, but he was fine. He was a little confused. There's that one moment where he was in the corner and took the shot from Dennis. He didn't really run the play right. But, yeah, there was a little bit of confusion and him kind of getting back into things that was not totally right. But I'm not worried about Precious. He's going to be fine. We're going to see him tonight. I agree. He's not a center. He shouldn't be playing center unless he has to, unless it's very much a backup to the backup to the backup. But otherwise, I don't like him playing center. And I'm really, really excited to see Precious blossom even more this year. I think that Darko's going to get more out of him. It's just that he's been hurt and we haven't seen him recently. But who knows? Tonight could be a game where he really does something awesome against Washington. So I'm not worried about Precious. I'm just being patient. How about that? Cool Cat saying Fred is old school. He's raw in his language and teaching. Pascal would explain and soften. Laugh out loud. Our youngins are no tough love. Houston youngins and MA are all right with that tough love approach. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. That speaks something to our young guys that I don't like. And that's why I said last year, Scott, if you're a softie and you can't fucking take somebody talking to you a little hard, get over yourself is what I'm going to fucking say. I love you, Scotty Barnes. I love you, man. But if you're one of these guys that can't take constructive criticism, you just want everything to be rah, 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 everything's okay, you're not going to grow. You're not going to get to the points where you could get to in your career. If you want everything to be nice and happy and not so tough, and you don't want people to talk to you in a certain way, well, you won't grow to the highest levels that you can, Scott, if you don't. And in some ways, that may be something that you realize later on in your life that, you know what, maybe I fucking should have listened to Fred while he was still with us on the Raptors. And maybe I shouldn't have been so standoffish to him giving me advice and trying to get the best out of me. You know, Tracy McGrady wrote a book about all his regrets from when he was on the Raptors and what he should have done differently. I don't want you to write a book someday that has that. Like Chris Bosh, he has a book too about how he would have handled things differently when he was younger as a Raptor too. I don't want you to have a book like that someday, Scotty, where you have regrets because you didn't fucking listen to Fred when you should have. You know, that's something that I worried about last year. If I was reading between the lines and somebody's saying, oh, we don't like the old heads telling us what to do. Well, what the fuck are you supposed to do in the NBA? You're supposed to listen to the old heads. And if we're losing more and more Bobby Knight in this world, in the NBA and in basketball, and people like Fred are getting pushed out because youngsters have their feelings hurt, that's messed up. And that means that this game is doomed to me even more, whether it's the betting, whether it's the softness of the personality. Yeah, Blackhawks here. Good to see Neil. Nick Nurse leaving is fine. Nick Nurse wanted a player like Embiid, and he got it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We got Darko, and we'll get better. There you go. As Nick said, everybody's where they're supposed to be. And he's right, even though I hate it, because in some ways we had a really good coach. And in some ways he wanted to leave, so he sabotaged his job. Cool Cat saying, I researched Lindsey's background. She has her sports chop for sure. There you go. I love that. I love learning that about Lindsey. Thank you, Cool Cat, for the information. Country Con saying, Lex, I have a new opinion on the Boston game. The Celtics had just played their first game versus the Nets, and the first takes score store differential into consideration. Mazzulla was teaching the team how to play till the end. No, I get that. I said that in the reaction yesterday. And part of the reason why they ran the score up on us and left the starters out there is that they're gearing up for their game against us on Friday. Because if they want to build a rep for that game, they need to play that kind of way if they want point differential to be a matter in this. So, no, I totally get why their first in-season tournament game was against Brooklyn, and the point differential stuff matters. I get it. In some ways, the in-season tournament is going to bring out competitiveness in people, but also pettiness and fucking stuff that most of the time gentlemen wouldn't do as coaches, running up the score. Well, this encourages it. And in some ways, there's going to be bad feelings, kind of like what happened with Darko and Dennis in this in-season tournament, because these kind of things are going to happen. The same thing happened with the Pistons and the Sixers in their in-season tournament game when Joel Embiid took a three right at the end of the game and made another 3 points to add on to their score. Well, Nick Nurse wanted him to do that because point differential matters in this tournament. So, no, I caught this. That's part of the reason why he left the starters in longer. Joe Mazzulla, with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out there, even though we put our bench in and we had given up on the game, he wanted to run the score up a little bit more to practice that for Friday. I totally get that. Country Kong saying, also, the fact that the Celtics had played a playoff level in-season tournament game the day before they faced us, I believe they were ready to play on a level that we were not. Sometimes back-to-backs are easier. I agree. They were already revved up. And once again, this is something Jack said on the broadcast. Our guys were thinking about getting home. You know, they're literally getting on a plane to go back to their house after being away for over a week. In some ways, it's hard not to mentally start getting ahead of the game just because you know you're getting to go home finally and see your loved ones. So in some ways, that's the weirdness of the schedule kind of like being fucked up in different ways. They can make the rest days a problem for us also. Whether it's a back-to-back, they can make the rest days a problem for us also. 2 days off and you're just hanging out from Wednesday till Saturday. Yeah, you feel real good after you win Dallas, but I'd like to play on Friday. I'd like to play the next day on Thursday maybe and keep that energy going. No, you get to sit around in hotels and it's at the very end of your road trip and you don't have any clean laundry or something. I don't know. You're in a really weird place because you've been on the road for fucking 10 days. You know, there's insidiousness to the schedule with rest and with back-to-backs. Fiercey saying, agree with Blackhawk. We will be better. There we go. I like that. Word, Fiercey. I'll coach the 905. Yeah, I met Neil. Neil's a nice guy. He came to our meet and greet this summer. Well, I would love to have Neil down there. I'd have more confidence in Neil running the 905 than Eric Khoury right now. That's right. Blackhawk. I want him to run that team. Yeah, there you go. Infamous is saying, I think you're being a bit harsh on Eric Khoury. Let's give him some time. Remember, Eric Spoelstra started in the media room. Don't compare them. And maybe this is what Masai thinks. It's like, oh, I've got my new Spoelstra. No. These guys are totally different. They're totally different. I gave him a chance last year, Infamous. Seriously. I was like on the fence about him. I didn't like the hire in the first place. I was like, all right, let's see how he does. I watched him all last year. I watched the 905 very closely last year for the first time. And I was not impressed with him last year. He's a half-ass coach. He doesn't know what he's fucking doing. And it's not like he's any better. And that's why I have my gripes with him. We're wasting our time with him in charge of that team. We really are. He's not Spoelstra. Spoelstra is a totally different animal. Spoelstra is crazy. Spoelstra gets angry. Spoelstra, you can get scared around him. Spoelstra came from the film room. He didn't come from analytics necessarily. He came from the film room. And he's not like a PhD egghead that came from academics. He's a basketball head. He's been a basketball head his whole life. He played when he was younger. He was really into it as a Filipino kid. And they're not comparable. They may have the same first name. But if Masai is thinking that Eric Khoury is going to become an Eric Spoelstra, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy. You're a really good judge of talent and a great scout, Masai. But Eric Khoury is not an Eric Spoelstra. And there's no way he's anywhere near what Eric Spoelstra is. He's just not the same personality. Eric Spoelstra will get pissed. He'll fucking cuss you out. He'll fight with his own players. Eric Khoury is more likely to go run out of the room and then fight one of his own players or something like that. Yeah, no, I can't take this, Infamous. I love you, man. I agree with you a lot of times, but no, that's not the same thing. Yeah, Blackhawks saying Eric had time last year. He did. He had time. He was so fail. Like there were so many games last year. I was like, we could win this game if we had a good coach. There were so many games last year. We were so mid last year. So mid. Just like the 905 season mirrored the Raptors season last year. The ups and downs of the 500 ball with Nick Nurse was the same on the lower level. They had chances to be better, do better things, but they didn't. They sucked the whole fucking entire year. They sucked last year, and they didn't develop our guys hardly at all. You know, Ron Harper, where's his leap? You know, what's going on with that? I don't know. All right, let's see. David's saying he did. The issue is he's a smart guy. Some say a genius, which is great. The problem is he's not a basketball player or a coach. Exactly. He can be as smart as fuck. Well, if you're so smart, you need to fucking figure out how to do better, Eric. In some ways, that's what pisses me off. If he's such a fucking genius, we'll figure out how to fucking coach over the summer. Maybe really hit the books and really fucking try and learn this shit. Isaac saying Khoury has a master's in water flow science. Maybe he just needs to spend more time with H2O. Yeah, okay. H2OG. I see what you did there, Isaac. You're getting a dunk. You're getting a dunk because you made a funny pun. H2OG. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't mind him being back on the main roster. That's if Darko wants him around as one of his assistant coaches. In some ways, he may not want him up there. You know, I don't know. He has a stats analyst guy on the Raptors already. I don't know. In some ways, he may be helpful back on the main roster, but he should not be the head coach. The basic thing is right here. Eric Khoury can be an assistant coach, but he's not a head coach. He's not a head coach. There's no way he's a fucking head coach. Let's see. David's giving a dunk to Isaac. Already done it. David's also saying, I think we should send out a search party for Logical Raptors Fanatic. He hasn't made a video for his channel for 4 months. I haven't seen him here. Did he move to Houston? Let's laugh out loud. I don't know what, you know, in some ways, listen, your drive to do what I'm doing can go away if you don't like what's happening. If you're not that invested in the team, if you just don't give a shit, maybe like, God forbid, Mike has hopefully really good things going on in his life, but it could be that he has very serious things happening in his life personally that are just a huge distraction, you know, with family or with his job or with whatever. I don't want to speculate. I hope only good things are happening to him. But sometimes these kind of things happen because people have something that comes up that's way more important than fucking running a YouTube channel or dealing with, you know, the Raptors. So it could very well be. I just don't have the energy or the interest to do this right now. Now that Nick's gone and Fred's gone, and I know it's a rebuild. I don't know. It could be that something personally in his life is very having to deal with, and he just doesn't have the energy or time. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on it too much. I just wish Mike the best. And we would love for you to come back, Mike. If you come back, we'd be so happy to see you. Honestly, you get a hero's welcome. If you came back to the Raptorsfreak channel and you showed up again, everybody go crazy. I'm telling you right now. Nameless is saying, let's fucking go. Better late than never. That's right. That's right. Wayne Strainer's saying, we have no time for Khoury. He's just not an NBA coach material. Well, he's definitely not an NBA coach material. I mean, I could see him being a G League material, but there's no fucking way that guy would ever coach in the NBA. If it take this long for fucking Adrian Griffin to get his first chance and to do what he's doing this year, Eric Khoury will never, ever see the sideline as an NBA coach. In fact, like I said, you could go coach high school, go coach kids, but don't fucking coach any men anymore because you don't need to be coaching men, even at collegiate level. Seriously, this guy doesn't need to be coaching there. Yeah, it's nothing personal. We just know bad coaching when we see it. We have talent that needs to be developed, not frustrated. Exactly. Exactly. He can't teach these guys how to win. He doesn't know how to win himself. So it's like, how the fuck is our coach going to teach our 905 guys how to win and have winning culture? The motherfucker doesn't know how to win himself. So yeah, I'm totally with it. It's not that it's nothing personal against the guy. He's just not got it. He doesn't have it, and that's just what it is. Nameless is saying Spoelstra is Filipino. Didn't know that what the hell he was. Thought he was Italian. No, he's a Filipino guy. He's a pride of the Philippines. They love Spoelstra over there. Huge success for their country, and they take a lot of ownership of him. You know the Philippines are basketball crazy, and Eric Spoelstra is a god there. Trust me. You know, when they were there for FIBA World Cup, he's one of the assistant coaches for USA. He very much got a lot of media darling stuff over there with his Filipino heritage. For sure. Yeah. Wayne Strainer saying Eric may be Rogers' step cousin, auntie, nephew-in-law, brother. You think he's like related to Rogers? No, he's just a Toronto guy. He's from the city. He's very much a Toronto guy. I think he went to York or something. He's a great guy. He's a nice guy. I don't want anybody to think I don't like Eric Khoury as a person. I think that he's a nice guy. I think that there's nothing wrong with him as a person. He's just not a coach. And I can't, he's infuriating me about how he's running the 905 right now. Evelyn's here. Evelyn's saying Spoelstra's mom, Elisa Salino, is a native of San Pablo Laguna, Philippines. There you go. See, Evelyn's a Philippines nation, and she's taking ownership of Coach Spoelstra right there. Evelyn, I hope you're coming to the hangout on Thursday, and I will ask a request. If you are coming, can you bring the extras of these if you still got them? Because I'd love to give one of these to Tom Duke and Isaac Campbell on Thursday. If you're able to get down there, I don't know if you're planning on coming. You can talk to us in the chat. You don't have to tell me right now. You're coming? Okay. So if you can bring the shirts, the extra shirts you had from this summer, we'd love to distribute them to people that didn't get them this summer. They're going to be here this time. So I want to give Tommy one of these shirts and Isaac too. So hopefully we got a big one for Tommy still. Yeah, hopefully you got a big one. You're bringing the extra shirts. Awesome. So yeah, there's another reason why to come to the Raptor Freak Hangout. You can get a free Raptor Freak t-shirt. That's right. They're free. We ain't making you buy them. If you want to represent our family and put it on blast out in public, you can get this shirt if you come down there. Yeah. Let's see. Wayne saying, I was fishing for a dunk. You want that? Oh, because of the Rogers step cousin, auntie, nephew-in-law, brother. All right, Wayne. You know, I like to please people. So I'm going to go ahead and give Wayne Strainer a dunk for the relational joke there. There's Wayne right there. All right, let me see. Where am I at? I'm at the end of the comments. I want to finish up. I'm over 2 hours. Let me see what I got to talk about still that I maybe didn't bring up. Yeah, the Wizards lost to the Nets last night by 8 points. You know, they really just don't have good guys. They really don't. They don't have a very good team. So we need to beat them. Serge Ibaka and his team losing to Bonn in overtime yesterday in the German league. It's kind of sad to see Serge frustrated and out of the league. I know he wants to be in the NBA right now. In some ways, that it sucks that he's just not in it. All right, the Instagram check. Mohamedou Gueye on his Instagram taking a nice long shot. Dude, we really like Mo Gay. He's going to be really, really interesting over the next year because like he's had dominant 2 games in a row just now. Really missed Javon Freeman Liberty yesterday in the game. We could have used you, bro. And you're posting highlights of the game. And even though we lost, come on, bro. We need to see you fucking get out there again, Javon Freeman Liberty. Whatever. I don't even know what y'all are hurt about. Ron Harper and Javon. Why are y'all hurt? Thad Young's got reform transportation on blast as usual. Mr. New York City has got a couple things he's saying. Nobody can stop what God is about to do in your life. I like that. He's got sometimes worship looks like staying faithful even when the call is hard, believing after disappointment, forgiving when it's hard, praying when your tears outnumber your words. That's a really good list. And after a game like yesterday, Marquise, you played awesome. I'm sorry you don't have a coach. That's what I got to say right now. Pascal's got a picture of him at the 905 game yesterday. That was awesome. There's some kid behind him making a goofy face in the picture. Why you got to ruin that picture? Get that garbage out of there, Jack Armstrong. Get that garbage can eraser thing that you got in the commercial right now. We need to erase some joker with his funny face behind Pascal in that picture at the 905 sideline. Get that garbage out of here. That's what I'm saying. All right, there's your Raptors Instagram check. It's really scant. There's not a whole lot going on Instagram with these guys, especially when they're coming off a loss like the other day. They ain't going to try and do it. That's right. Let's see. Wayne saying, I was fishing for a dunk. Oh, he said, Gary available tonight? No, he's day to day. I'm going to bet that Gary's not going to play tonight. I'm going to bet that he isn't. Evelyn's saying, guys, the Raptors Freak shirts are limited, so come early. There you go. Whoever's going to come, and, certain people give them to for sure. But, yeah, if you want those shirts, they're limited, Evelyn. Just a happy little tight family down there having a good time. And I'm glad you're coming. We're going to have a lot of fun, Evelyn. I'm going to sing a song for you, Evelyn. Whatever you want me to sing, I'm going to sing a song for you, Granny Evelyn. That's right. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Screw this shit. All right, let's do the main event marquee match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scotiabank Arena in beautiful downtown Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Tonight we have an interesting matchup. This is a competition of thespian skills. Tonight, we have a presentation of a Joe Pesci impersonation competition. And first of all, for the visiting team from the University of Utah, Kyle Kuzma. And on the Raptors side, on the side for the Raptors from Austria, Jakob Poeltl. Okay, so it is a Joe Pesci impersonation competition. It's the two Utes competition. The two Utes. You get it? The two Utes. It's a two Utes competition. Two Utes. Joe Pesci impersonation. Who can do a better Joe Pesci impersonation? Kyle Kuzma or Jakob Poeltl? It's the two Utes. Two Utes. If you know my cousin Vinny, you get my joke. Old head joke over the head of the youngsters. I know. The two Utes. Do you get it? Come on, Utah Utes. Come on. Do I have to explain it? Oh, it's so stupid. All right. Once again, our injuries for today. DeLon Wright has had surgery. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, so he's not available for the Wizards tonight. On our side, it's saying Gary Trent is questionable for the game today. His foot. Koloko is out already. Javon Freeman, Liberty, and Ron Harper Jr. I don't know if they're called up, but they're also day-to-day. Shouldn't really matter. Our referees are Brian Forte, CJ Washington, and Matt Myers. Brian Forte favors the Raptors. We have had him already this year and we lost. CJ Washington's absolutely one of the worst refs for the Raptors. I do not like that guy. And then Matt Myers is good. He kind of favors the Raptors. So the 2 out of 3 ain't so bad, Meatloaf. And then let's see what else. Let's get ready for tonight and get a win. So tomorrow I'll come back and we'll react to the game. Hopefully a big win for the Raptors over the Washington Wizards. Don't mess around. Y'all need to win this game. Seriously. You guys have way more talent, way more athleticism, a better team overall. You need to win this game tonight, Raptors. Don't mess around. We need the good vibes back around the 416 and the Raptors team. And beating them and coming back is a good thing. Now, Jack's saying some bullshit tonight in the game, or Matt saying, the first game back after a long road trip is tough to play. It's like, don't fucking do that shit. It's just Washington. And just keep it simple and beat their ass is what I say about this game tonight. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check out Toronto Yardie. He's a great YouTube channel, and give him a follow also. I appreciate every one of y'all. Let's beat the Wizards tonight. Let's not mess around, y'all. Seriously. Raptors, we need the good feelings. Go get them. Go get them for us tonight. All right, y'all. Let's go Raptors. Yeah.